Early morning boxing talk. All right, let's get it started. I just want to post a link for the people on Twitter. Give me a second, ladies and germs. Give me a second, use guys. Use guys. So yeah, man, I just saw Golovkin versus Murata. It was just as entertaining as I thought it would be. I figured it's going to be a very entertaining fight, albeit a fight that perhaps took a little bit too long to make, but still a very entertaining fight. Still a fight that was aesthetically pleasing, just as entertaining as I figured it would be on the day. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. What's goody Sawab? What's goody Don't Care? What's goody Michael Giles? What's goody Iceman? JD Blackout? What's goody? And the main reason I went live is because here we have a 40-year-old fighter, a 40-year-old fighter who is polarizing in some circles, and we know what the real motivation for the polarization is. A 40-year-old fighter who had people in this part of the world wake up at 5, 6 in the morning to see him in action. And I'll get into, forgive me, I'm getting over a cold. I can, I'll say that this guy had people getting up at 5, 6 in the morning on the East Coast, earlier than that on the West Coast. Appreciate that, Jacob Sims. Charlo still ain't going to beat Triple G. We're going to get into that. You had a fighter who's about 40 years old who still has enough drawing power to wake up Americans at this ungodly hour just to see him box. And there's a lesson in there. There is a lesson because, you know, I'm not really live for the fight reaction or for the fight breakdown, though I'll touch on it a little bit. I still want to save that for the weekend recap. But what grabbed my attention is I noticed how many people were awake for the fight. And I'm like, see, this is what drawing power looks like. You have a fighter who's halfway around the world. It's early in the morning. And the reason that people are awake is because they know that when this fighter's in there, it's going to be entertaining. It's going to grab your attention. It's not going to be some minimalist approach to boxing that's supposed to be the sweet science. No, that's not the sweet science. That's a minimalist approach to boxing. Drew says, let Jules cook and champ this before the panel. Thank you for going live, Jules, even though you like 40. Yeah, B. I mean, shit. I'm right behind Triple G, bro. You know what I'm saying? He took punishment. He looked slow, but won dominantly and stopped his opponent. There is still a place for Gennadiyevich. What say you, gentlemen? I agree. That Golovkin, the Golovkin that I saw in there, I'll tell you right now, and people aren't gonna like this. The Golovkin that I saw in there would beat Jamal. He would beat Demetrius. The Golovkin that I saw. I don't want to get into the fight because I'm saving that for the recap. But the Golovkin that I saw in there, he'd start off with a considerable deficit against the Jermall Charlo, perhaps a deficit against an Andre, but he would beat them because he has what they don't have, and that's real concussive punching power, bankable power that so long as he's landing, he's going to break you down, and he is going to land. You know what I mean? A lot of people aren't going to like the sound of that, but that's how I would see those fights. That's my annotation. That's my anecdote. All that fiddling and moving around and fiddling and feigning and moving around, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Jared, you're the man. I was thinking the same. Ricardo, of course he would. Jamal is a kitty cat. Exactly, Ricardo. Triple G cannot take body shots, but still good performance. At 168, Triple G will have more energy than a 160 Triple G at 40. I'll get into that, Drew. I'll get into that. But the main thing that grabbed my attention, you know, obviously the fight was fun. But what made me want to go live was that here you have a 40-year-old fighter whose prime is clearly behind him. You know, it's all downhill from here. But he still has enough drawing power to where Americans are getting up very early in the morning to see him fight. And I thought to myself, how many American fighters can do that? How many American fighters have that kind of drawing power to where people in America and people in the UK, they're going to get up at the crack of fucking dawn just to see the guy fight. How many? And that brings me back to the conversation that we often have here on the panel, that a lot of these guys are doing it wrong. All this playing it safe, that shit, cut it out. All this, I think about a fighter like Frankie Sanchez, and I'm like, bro, you couldn't pay me enough to get up at 6 a.m. to watch him fight. You couldn't pay me to watch him fight in primetime hours for a boxing match. And you got guys that like to prop up that minimalist approach to boxing as if there's some kind of wisdom no, you just don't want to take chances. That's all it is. That particular fighter has a safety first approach. And even if it wins them the boxing match, it won't win them the fans because people don't want to see that. I can't stress that enough. That's why Derek Chisora still has marquee value, because Derek, win or lose, he's going to fight. He's going to go for it. That's why people show up. That's why people buy a ticket. That's why people across the Atlantic Ocean, like myself, they support him because he's going to go for it. Nobody's going to get up at 6 a.m. to see you play it safe, And this idea that, that's a Sarit, man, fuck out of here. Sarit, whatever you want to call it. People don't get up for that shit. You think I'd be up at 6 a.m. to watch Frankie Sanchez? Facts, Jay. Even Triple G's decline from Derevyanchenko to now, one thing he's never lost is his ability to land hard consistently, even in close fights. Yeah. That's my thing. That what really made me want to go live was the fact that I saw so many people were awake for the fight. The same people you see at 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock during a boxing match. That's many of the same people I saw awake for this fight. Shout out to Junto Nakatani, who looked all but a goddamn monster. Flyweight WBO champion. Shout out to him. That was perfect. That was a perfect card of action fights. Ito got the shit beat out of him. Junto Nakatani beat the shit out of somebody and on to the main course. It was beautiful. The card was beautiful. And I'm sick of this pretend idea that I'm sick of this narrative that I see propagated, that the fiddling finesse fighter, he doesn't have the marquee value of, well, you know why? Because he's fucking boring. That's why. It doesn't matter who we're talking about. Boring is boring. Nobody's going to get up at 6 a.m. to fiddle and feint and move and take laps. Nobody want to see that at 6 a.m, bro. If I got up at 6 a.m, it's because I knew somebody going to get knocked the fuck out. It's going to be a lot of punches thrown. A lot of punches going to get landed, and somebody going to get knocked the fuck out. That's why I woke up. And if you can't deliver that, the fans aren't going to be on your side. So Triple G, shout out to Jay. Jules, drink some green tea. I feel better already. I drank, over the course of 2 days, I drank 6 cups of lemon tea with ginger and organic honey. I took 1,000 milligrams a day of vitamin C. I felt right as rain by the 3rd day yesterday. I felt right as rain. A little tired, but I had some things I had to do, and I was back to normal. I'm good now. Triple G still has his assets, his job, chin, power, and gas tank. He looked great once he shook off the rust. Yeah, my thing is that we often talk about marquee value and what lends itself to a fighter's marquee value. Well, a guy who's going to actually go for it, a guy who's going to actually go for the knockout, not just do laps around the ring, a guy who's actually going to try to hurt the other guy, that helps. Do you think I'd have got up at 6 a.m. for a safety first fighter? No. Regardless of how you slice it, everyone has their reasons. The safety first fighter has his reasons, and the consumer, they have their reasons. Sometimes they don't always meet in the middle. This is one of those situations that we often talk about here on the channel, that whether you like it or not, entertainment value, it is important. Yeah, it is. Because guys ain't going to get up at 6 a.m. to see you go from turnbuckle to turnbuckle to turnbuckle to turnbuckle. No, they not. I'm telling you right now, they not. Jules, where does the Honorable Mr. Honda rank on the Ring IQ? Bro, listen, Akihiko, let me tell you something. Akihiko Honda and Fernando Beltran. Those are the unsung heroes of the American boxing. Well, not just the American, not the American so much with Akihiko Honda, but definitely Fernando Beltran. You often hear about Bob. You often hear about Eddie. You often hear about Frank. Who you don't often hear about is Akihiko Honda and Taken Promotions, who have a great fucking stable of fighters, great stable, great boxing scene in Japan. You don't often hear about Fernando Beltran. A lot of these guys from south of the border that be coming up here and beating the shit out of everything, those are his fighters. You know what I mean? Those are his fighters. To me, Honda and Beltran are the unsung heroes of the boxing scene as a whole because they contribute a lot to it just as much as Bob or Frank. But you have to have a very observant eye to even know who Akihiko Honda is. And he's no newbie to the scene. He's been around for decades, just like Bob. You see who's hitting me up at this ungodly hour. Oh, appreciate that, Willie. Appreciate that, bruh. Didn't have to do that. Shout out to Willie Lynch for the super chat. You know what I mean? Triple G looks stellar for a 40-year-old. Definitely. It was a question of shaking off ring rust. I mean, that much we knew. It was a question of shaking off ring rust for the both of those fighters. But the main thing that made me go live is coming to the realization while I watched the Jinto Nakatani fight. I'm like, damn, yo, it's a lot of people awake for this fight. Depending on who you ask, people will tell you, don't nobody care about Triple G anymore. Blah, 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 right? Depending on who you ask. But when I looked around, I saw the same people awake in this part of the world that I see awake for a fight that's happening in America. And it just brought it back to my attention, which I already knew. They're like, yo, look, man, Triple G has marquee value. I don't care who on Twitter or who on YouTube or who on Facebook wants to pretend that he doesn't have marquee value. Yes, the fuck he does. That's why 20,000 Japanese showed up to the Saitama Arena to see him and Murata. That's why 20,000 showed up. That's why Americans were awake at 5 and 6 in the fucking morning to see him fight. And that's why people in the UK, the same UK guys that I be talking to on Twitter, they was awake to see the fight because he has fucking marquee value. Now, why does he have marquee value? Because he's not fucking boring. The easy answer, he's not fucking boring. He's not going to run around the ring all night. Nah, people don't get up to see that. People don't buy a ticket to see that. It's a fucking message in a bottle there, man. It's a message in a bottle there. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers need to wake up. And I know what it comes from. You know, I know what it comes from. I get it. It comes from the Mayweather era. But Mayweather was, and I want to say this. Floyd was entertaining for me to watch. I don't know about you guys. Floyd was always entertaining for me to watch because I knew then he was a generational talent. The misconception is that every pure boxer is a generational talent. No, they're not. Lara's fights, unless he's in there with a pressure fighter, he's boring. Unless Rigo's in there with a pressure fighter, he's boring. Frankie Sanchez, God help me, I don't want to watch him. No, I'm sorry. All that, I'm going to stay way on the outside and jab and move and jab. And I don't want to see that shit, bro. Not at 6 in the morning. You know, I don't. And the misconception is that because Floyd became a pure boxer, that every pure boxer. No, they're not, bro. Don't put these guys in there with Floyd. I thoroughly enjoyed watching Floyd because of what he could do. He could sit there in the pocket, make you miss, make you pay. Yes, he was economic, but it was still fun for me to watching him do that. These guys, no, they're not fun, bro. They're not fun. And stop trying to convince me that every pure boxer is fun. No, the fuck they're not. No. Because that's what it stems from. That because Floyd transitioned from being a boxer puncher to a pure boxer, that, every pure boxer. No, not every. Floyd is Floyd. Okay, I know that Floyd is an asshole. I know that he's a narcissist. But I also know I was thoroughly entertained every time I watched him fight because a lot of guys, most motherfuckers cannot box like Floyd. That's the truth. It was fun to watch for me. The misconception is every pure boxer is, no, they're not. What the fuck? Can I just say the Japanese fans are very polite, and how engaged they are in the fight shows in the silence. And I bet you can hear the punches loudly. Very classy boxing scene. Not the early morning boxing talks. Even with the win, I believe Triple G still has enough in the tank for any fighter but Canelo. Yeah, bro. Like, it's just this narrative. It's been propagated the last 5 years in the wake of Floyd's official retirement from the sport of boxing. You know, once he stopped boxing with actual boxers. In the wake of his absence, any number of guys who can't carry a spit bucket are offered up as parallels for him. And no, they are not parallels. I argued with people on Facebook for 4 years over this shit, that yes, Floyd and Lara are both pure boxers, but Lara cannot carry Floyd's spit bucket. Lara is a safety first, outside, economic fighter that wants to fight the whole fight on the balls of his feet. That is not Floyd. Floyd will sit in the pocket with you, make you miss, make you pay, check hook you, pull counter you. I saw him walk Cotto into an uppercut that wobbled Cotto late in their fight. And the misconception is that every pure boxer was created equal. No, they're not. So stop offering up these boring fucking guys as parallels for Floyd. They're not. Why are we talking about Floyd? Because Triple G is not a pure boxer. He's actually a boxer puncher with an affinity for applying pressure. And because he's not a pure boxer, there's people out there that'll tell you he's no good. He has no skills. He was never pound for pound. He was a hype job, all of which is bullshit. Bullshit narratives propped up by guys who want to convince you that Lara is something special. No, he's not. No, he's not. Sorry. No, he's not. He's not. It's fucking time, yo. Now I'm going to open up the chat to the panel, and I'm going to talk some shit, and I want to ruffle feathers. I want to make people mad. I'm awake, goddammit. I beat that cold. 7-5, 7 rounds to 5, and we're fucking here. God damn it. The fuck? The check left. Yeah, exactly, John. I was Goody Sawab.
Yo, Julius, what you saying? How you doing?
I'm chilling. I'm just, it's a small, because I've been critical of Triple G over the years. I've been critical of him and some decisions he's made. But one thing I never did was say that he's not a skilled fighter. No, he's definitely a skilled fighter. It's just that not all base styles are created equal. What Triple G is a boxer puncher who likes to apply pressure. He's not a pressure fighter. He's a boxer puncher. How do I know? Everything he does is off his jab. He has good feet. He's just not on the balls of his feet, but he has good feet. And in America, at least, what I see is there's a misconception that you have to be on the balls of your feet to be a good boxer. No, you don't. You could be a good boxer on the balls of your feet. You could be a good boxer who plants their feet and sits on their punches. All base styles have pros and cons. Now, Triple G is not an, according to Hoyle, pure boxer. And because of this, some people think he's not a good fighter. Well, let me tell you something. Good fighters, right? If he wasn't a good fighter, he wouldn't still be here at 40 fucking years old beating people up. If he wasn't a good fighter. He's a good fighter. Let's get that. Let's clear that up right now.
Jules, I agree. He is a good fighter, but to me, he looked very slow, very flat-footed. Maybe it's the age, maybe it's the ring rust, but he did well. And then I believe Murata, I think he quit in the 9th round.
I don't think he quit. A lot of people, well, I don't know how much you've seen Murata, and I don't want to give too much away. I don't know how much you've seen of Murata, but what was noticeable for me, having watched him since he went pro, what was noticeable for me is he was throwing more. This goes back to an argument we often make about Deontay, that Deontay's not a prolific puncher, and if you force him to fight, he gets tired. If you force him to fight, if you force him to throw, Murata is not a prolific puncher, and he doesn't normally apply pressure. He doesn't normally throw 3-punch, 4-punch combinations. He doesn't normally throw a lot. He normally throws 2 shots, and he can hurt the guy over time with the 2 shots. What I saw in this fight is he was throwing more. He was literally trying to pressure Triple G and crowd him. That caused him to get tired faster. So I'm not gonna say that he gave up. I'm gonna say that he blew his load. That's what I saw. Like, yo, he doesn't normally throw that much, and he doesn't normally crowd the guy either. His range is when he can get the arm out, when he can get full extension on his arm. That's his range. His money punch is who doing all that? His money punch is the straight right hand. So I don't think that he quit. I think he got the shit beat out of him.
Yeah, I could say so, but that's probably from my head from.
One guy at a time. Say it again, Sawab.
I was just saying, first of all, fuck Google. It keeps rubbing me for my super chats. I put in 2 super chats worth £5 and none of them showed up. So I hope you get yours. But what I said in the super chat, as long as you get it, Jules, as long as it doesn't go to Google, so fuck them.
Swap do Cash App. That's what I'm going to do. Cash App, man. Cash.
All right, cool. I'm gonna start. So basically, what I was saying is, in the super chat, I was saying there's a feedback comment.
I don't hear any feedback. Everybody mute your mics while Sawab is talking.
Yeah. So basically, I was saying that now we got, say Canelo beats Bevo. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And now the fight is going to happen. We get Canelo versus Triple G. What's the pay-per-view buys, and how big is the fight going to be? That's the question I got.
I would put the pay-per-view buys. I mean, it's early. I don't even want to give an answer just yet. I really want to see Canelo against Bivol. But actually, I'm going to save that. Because I want to do a video on that. But the main reason I went live, it's not necessarily to break down the fight. Like, it's not for that. It's the importance of being a fun fighter to watch. That's why I went live.
Can I go on this, Julius? Because that's the whole reason that I've come in.
Yeah, like this is what I want to talk about, John.
I want to talk about this because people think that there's no skill in setting up a knockout. There's a huge amount of skill. In the olden days, people like Joe Louis were seen as the most skilled boxers.
Yes.
Who had good footwork.
Yes.
Because they could close the distance, they could set up their punches and take you out.
Yep.
Jose Napoli is another one. That was good football.
Let me add Roberto Duran.
Yes,
Julio Cesar Chavez.
Yes, please.
If you go on the average Facebook boxing group, they think of Duran as just being a pressure fighter, just being a mid-range to inside puncher. They don't know what this, in other words, what I want to say before I pass it back, they don't know what skills are. Slipping, rolling with the punches, those are skills. The counters you come back with, those are skills. Skill is not every fighter that fights on the balls of their feet. That is a particular type of fighter, or it could be interpreted as a type of a skill. But what people need to get out of their heads is you need to be a pure boxer to be a skilled boxer. No, you don't. Triple G is skilled. If you ask these guys, he has no defense. And I've said this many times. The way he keeps his chin tucked, that's a skill. Yeah, that's a skill. When Murata would come over with the right, you would see Triple G do this. That's a skill. The right hand can't land because he's bringing that shoulder up to get under the punch. That's a fucking skill, you moron. Just because it doesn't look like Lara or just because it doesn't look like Floyd, that doesn't mean it's not a skill.
To add to that real quick, Jules, they're mistaking athleticism for skill.
I agree.
Well, I think the most prevalent one with that is sometimes Ali, because Ali was tremendously athletic when he was young, and he wasn't necessarily skilled. His reflexes got him out of a heck of a lot of trouble. And when
I agree with that.
When he got punched up, he just had an amazing chin.
Let me say this. If most fighters, Ali was a generational talent. I think we all agree on that. But if most fighters tried to fight like Ali, they get knocked out.
Yeah,
because he went back in straight lines. He
It-
literally
it-
would go. So if you go back in a straight line and the other guy doubles up on his jab and brings over the right, you're out. You're out.
And the other thing with Ali is we saw it when his reflexes went in the 70s. The skill wasn't really there. What was heart and chin. And he got it through.
Thank you. Even Tyson said Ali wouldn't throw no body punches, and he wasn't an elite, fundamentally sound boxer.
No, he was what he was a physically gifted, like Roy was physically gifted.
I think they're the most similar, Julius, because when their athleticism went, they got hit.
Let me say this. Let me say this. John,
his chin.
Roy was physically gifted. Ali is physically gifted. I am physically gifted. Drew is physically gifted. It's the way it is, bro.
But you're also
no. I'm not having
alien,
on.
so
I think I beat all
I'm not having the Capricorn. That's
I'm the most physically gifted out of you.
You're an alien, Jules, so it don't count.
No, it counts, bro. I'm physically gifted.
Female,
I'm just saying that it's not a coincidence that Capricorns are fucking gifted, bro.
Jules, I thought you were on PEDS.
I am on PEDS, but you know what I'm saying? But now, no fuckery aside, all fuckery aside, it's true that Ali was not. I would say Joe Louis was. You could argue that he was a little bit more fundamentally sound, I think, than Ali. But Ali was a greater physical specimen. He was fast. He was sharp. He had a fucking granite chin made out of God knows what.
You're selling Joe's hand speed there, Julia. Joe's hand speed was a bit scary.
Jules, put your face up because I'm talking to no one. I was going to ask you.
No. I'm about to come back. I'm about to smoke a cigarette. What I'm about to say is, I think Joe had good speed for a man his size, but he wasn't that fast. Like in terms of the fastest punchers I've ever seen at heavyweight, that's got to go to Mike. I think that has to go to Mike.
But Mike's speed's outrageous and his foot speed. Mike might have the fastest foot speed of any heavyweight.
Oh yes, no argument there.
That's a fair comparison because you're doing the fastest against someone else who's fast.
That's true. But I'll say that
also we're watching that old school footage where it's not the number of
hoovering. Fucking hell.
The film from those days is not giving you the true speed as well.
Yeah, there's not as many frames per second.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Joe's true speed either. In all fair.
Can I ask a question? What happened to Murata's body shots? They was the most successful things for his game plan. And as soon as the gum shield came out, that stopped.
He blew his. The main thing is, unless you've seen Murata many times, which I have, I've been watching him since he went pro. This was the busiest I've ever seen him. The only time he was this busy was in the Rob Brant rematch. What usually happens in a Murata fight, he'll throw like 2 punches at a time, no more. Just 2 punches at a time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, maybe 3, right? In this fight, he tried to be more busy and he blew his load. So if he couldn't keep up the game plan, it's 2 things primarily. 1, you blew your load. And 2, you didn't help your situation by being inactive for the last 2 years. I'm going to say something people might not like. If he would have been busy in the last 2 years, he would have beat Triple G.
Yeah.
I think he watched the Brook fight and he knew he had to start early, Jules. He had to get off early. But
he doesn't have the fitness. He doesn't have the fitness to maintain that pace. If he would have fought the whole fight the way he fought in the first 3 rounds, he would have stopped Triple G.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jules, to me, I think Murata looked older than Triple G.
Nah, I wouldn't say that.
No,
I think you're
later
right.
on, he just got
his in-fight sharpness wasn't there. You could tell he was off for 2 years.
I'll say that I saw some things that people were saying on Twitter. I heard what Sawab says. He felt that he quit. What I saw was that Murata was really hurting Triple G, not just to the body, to the head. Like he was hurting him, dog. He was hurting him.
Punch resistance, good chin, usually, and you can see that's clearly diminished.
Guys, Leo. I am pretty sure I say it on Twitter.
I'm pretty sure Golovkin broke Murata's chin in the 6th.
I agree.
Julius, there's a lot of echo in the back, man.
There
Whose
is.
mic is it?
Yes, yeah, somebody mic is wild, and I don't know whose mic it is though.
I am with headphones.
Let me see. Let me.
Vacuuming.
Can I say something? Before I do it,
I think it's your mic, Jay. I do think it's your mic because when you talked, I could hear the.
Yeah, I can hear it when Jay talks.
Yeah, but I can hear
Okay.
it. No, but I can hear it when Leo was talking as well.
I have to say something. What I noticed, and Jules, you probably noticed it too. Right away, that certain section of fight fans, I can't even call them fans, saying that who wants to watch Triple G Canelo and comparing that Charlo with similar numbers.
No, he
It
wouldn't.
was fucking hilarious.
No, he wouldn't.
Let
me answer that question first. Let me answer that question first.
Let me add this to it real quick. People from all over the world are going to fly into Vegas for Canelo Triple G. They wouldn't do that for Canelo Charlo.
Let me talk. What I'm gonna say is, if the question is who wants to see it, people that actually pay money for boxing, not bums, not people that need to find a stream. People who pay money to see boxing will watch Triple G versus Canelo 3. How do I know? I'm gonna buy it. Drew, you gonna buy it?
I'm gonna buy it, or I'm gonna be there.
Everybody on the panel, everybody on this panel is gonna buy the fight. Everybody in the chat, they're gonna buy the fight. They're gonna watch the fight, regardless.
Jules, are people gonna fly in from Asia to see that fight?
Of course they are.
Wouldn't they do that for Charlo?
No. I'm telling you now, no. Here's why. Here's what's missing for Charlo. The grassroots movement that Spence had when he was coming up, I'm talking about circa 2014, 2015, 2016. There was already a cult following that, they felt that he was going to be like a guy, you know what I mean? Charlo doesn't have that, and he really never had that.
To be honest, Julius, I was talking about this whole situation with the PBC with Rafa the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's the whole premise of the BBC messed it up. So they sold their platform as something that was free boxing.
Mm-hmm.
So they attracted people that didn't want to pay for boxing.
I agree.
They also kept their fighters inactive. So people forgot about them. You don't know who they are.
Like, let me give you an example. If Charlo, right, were on the scale of a Triple G, right? When they put him on pay-per-view, surely he would have sold more than just a little over 100,000. The number they put out there for his pay-per-view, which was a decent card, that's the sad part. It was a decent card. I bought it.
The one with both Charlos, though.
Yeah, the one with both Charlos.
Was an excellent card.
It was a decent card, but what I saw is, you telling me that Charlo versus Derevyanchenko and Charlo versus Rosario cannot sell as much as Golovkin versus Lemieux?
But
That's
the dance partner. Wouldn't the intrigue of Canelo and Charlo, wouldn't that put some intrigue? That more people would come out, not just for Canelo, but obviously just to see that matchup. Just like
I would say, if the fight is in Texas, the gate revenue will be okay because Charlo will have his small contingent, and it's a small contingent. I'm being honest, and Canelo will sell the rest. In other words, whose mic is
whose
that?
mic is that? Your lawn mowing or something?
If it's Charlo and Canelo in the state of Texas, yes, the gate will be okay, but Canelo can't get an okay gate in Texas by himself? Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Does he need Charlo to get a good gate?
Yes.
Julius, let me just add to that point. Look how many people came from Kazakhstan. How many
Here's
people
what I was
were
hearing,
there?
Jules. People were saying, well, Caleb Plant sells in his home and he helped sell that fight with Canelo. I'm like, bro, it was Undisputed that sold that fight.
Dude, I was just gonna say that earlier. Isan was, I think, on Twitter, and I just joined. This guy was saying some ridiculous stuff, and then Drew was just giving them. But they're not willing to listen. I don't know what's wrong with these people.
Well,
they're not willing to.
Let me say this.
Julius,
hold on. Wait. Okay. What I'm saying is, there's no need to argue with those guys. There's no look. Yesterday, I forgot this dude's name, man. He was arguing with a guy, right? And what the guy was arguing is that Floyd's exhibition match. Oh, why you getting mad at a dude getting money, right? That's what the dude was arguing. And then when he asked him, "Are you gonna buy that fight?" He fucking said no. So here what I see. So here what I see is what I've been saying for 4 or 5 years. Like, we don't need to argue. You don't buy shit. I don't need to know what you think about boxing.
When you first,
and that's when I in that room, Jules, in that room,
for their tickets, Julius, who was supporting PBC, calling people out for their receipts because you knew they hadn't bought it.
Exactly.
You've been doing that for about 5 years.
Exactly.
The fundamental thing for me, though, is to build a fighter in his early career, you need to be active so that you keep him fresh in people's minds. And Al didn't do that with anybody. Literally, they were all fighting once a year. And so none of these guys have got a buzz with excitement. And on top of that, you targeted a group of people that don't want to pay for boxing.
Let me say this.
Targeted the wrong demographic, and you've done nothing with the fighters that you have.
You know, you had Broner, right? For example, you had Broner who was on the rebound. Broner was very vocal that he wanted to be more active and he wanted to get more fights. And the strangest thing is that, okay, Broner campaigns at or around welterweight. Al, you have the people for him to fight. Now, I'm not talking about Spence and Thurman. I'm talking about Abdukakharov. I'm talking about Lipinets. I'm talking about the other guys. You have them. Did you put them out there? No. You had a prospect.
Your favorite fighter, Danny. Yeah, Danny.
Yeah, Danny. He could have did a fight with fucking Danny. You know, you had a prospect in Tuksak Niambiar from Mongolia. This guy sat out for a year ahead of what was his title shot. That's ridiculous. He's a prospect. He doesn't even have 20 fights. Why is he sitting out for a year? And it goes back to what John just said. You have to get these guys out there to amass a following. You don't have them go out there once the whole year, and that's the only fucking time people see them. How the fuck are you supposed to get a following?
And that's where they messed up with Charlo, Jules. I was at the J-Rock fight. Yeah. They had about, I'd want to say 10,000 people there with a highlight reel knockout and buzz to build Charlo in a Mexican-dominated fan base.
I agree.
And he didn't fight. When did he fight from the J-Rock fight next? It was like 9-10 months. You don't build a star like that.
No, you don't. I mean,
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, there's no continuity.
Because Jules, correct me if I'm wrong. Charlo had legit buzz after that J-Rock fight.
After the J-Rock fight, he had a legit buzz. He went up. See, that's not where he went wrong for me. It wasn't immediately after that, because the Centennial fight, he knocked that guy's block off. The Jorge Sebastian Highland fight.
What was the gaps between the fights, though, Julie?
I don't think it was a year. Was it a year between Sebastian Highland and J-Rock? Was it?
I'm going to look at box rec.
Because those are the two fights. He knocks out J-Rock, then he moves up. He takes on Jorge Sebastian Highland, who was the interim champion at 160 with the WBC. I don't know if it was a year between those fights, though. If it was, that was counterintuitive. However, I don't think that's where he messed up. Where he messed up is not fighting Demetrius.
Yeah,
that's where he messed up at.
But they stuck to their little thing, him and his brother. So you know, it's just like.
Julius, talking of PBC, can I ask you a question? How petty is Floyd Mayweather having a press conference the same day as Tank?
I know.
Floyd's not.
And Tank is such a bitch. He tweeted it out and then he deleted it afterwards.
I hate when he does that. It's such a bitch move.
I mean, guys, are we surprised? That's Floyd.
Can I say?
Yeah, I know,
look, let me preface the shit. No homo. No homo. Floyd got low dick energy. Do low dick shit.
Oh shit.
Do low dick shit.
Yeah.
No, but like no homo, bro. I'm being like, yo, he got low dick energy.
You know what, Jules
like,
is right. Any man that got to pay women to be with him has that energy.
Yeah, like nobody say nothing. Nobody say nothing. Nobody say nothing. Nobody say nothing. Right? When you supposed to be like the one that everybody aspires to be, right? You grow into that. You want to see the young boy do good. That's your boy. He's part of your promotional outfit. You signed him. When he fights with the Mayweather Promotions banner behind him. And you got such just little dick energy that you not really mentoring him. You be there with him, B. Be there like, no, we gonna train, bro. I ain't gonna let you go out there looking crazy because you represent me. I'm gonna give you all the jewels that I was not given. Give you the opportunities that I did not have. He got a little dick energy. Like you competed with your own fucking fighter.
Bro, you know what it is? I think he has some issues. I swear. Up there, I think he has some issues. He can't let go. All right, you were the money man for the time being. You people don't just. I think people don't like him, and he doesn't like the fact that people don't like him,
It was
Yeah.
very
and that's
telling.
what makes
Remember,
him do
Jules?
fucked up
Remember
One
when
at
he
a
shit.
went?
time. One at a time. Go ahead, Sawab.
I was just saying, I don't think Floyd Mayweather likes people not liking him, and that has a mental effect on him, and he just always wants to prove that he wants to be on top so people can like him. I don't know.
So, Wab, I'll add to that. It's not that. It's he doesn't like not being center of attention. And I'll go back to when he was in London, and nobody cared about him because AJ was there. Nobody.
Yeah, do you remember that?
Yeah, I
Because
remember that
what
meeting.
AJ,
Hold on. Wait, let me read the super chat first. I'm sure those fans were asked not to yell because germs and whatnot. Great fight. Woke my sleepy ass all the way up from California. Now I wanna read this from my man Alexis. I love his takes because they get people talking. Alexis says Floyd would behave that way if he had Shakur instead of Jeep. And this is the thing, right? I agree and I don't agree, right? It's true. I don't think that Gervonta Davis has the ceiling of Shakur. I'm sold on Shakur. Like, I think that kid's going to go all the way, all the way. He has it all. But it's not just that. It's that you're a promoter. It's not all about one fighter. It's not all about Gervonta. In general, your demeanor towards the sport, your product, your fighters. You act like you're competing with your fighters when you're supposed to be like the father, the surrogate father to those fighters. Like, I'm gonna give you jewels, I'm gonna teach you game, I'm gonna get you through this, I'm gonna show you the right shortcuts and keep you away from the wrong ones. You not that. You got little dick, little boy, and it's like the video. Hold on. The video that he uploaded yesterday. They mad. I got my faculty. Ain't nobody mad. You a cornball.
Julius, have you seen the interview with Ricky Hatton talking about the build-up for the fight with Floyd, and they were in different private jets, and Floyd was going nuts because Ricky's jet was going to get there first, and he pulled out everything just to get there. Like he's got an issue, and I don't know that I want to use the term that you're using, but I call it little man syndrome. Like he's deeply insecure in his heart somewhere.
Nah, I ain't go. You know why I ain't gonna say little man syndrome once again? No homo. Maybe it's a little man out there that got a big dick. I ain't gonna. I don't know.
Even Mike Tyson.
That term is referred to somebody who's insecure in themselves.
Yeah, like he got Peckerwood energy. Like, yo, why you acting like that? You should be. Hold on. You should be grooming these kids. Look, any number of kids and young aspiring boxers aspire to be like Floyd. We see it all the time. Devin Haney brings it up all the time. So when you in that role and you're in your 40s, right? You can be that father, that surrogate father to these young boxers. You know, you can show them shit.
Who's truly confident? Vlad and AJ.
Yeah.
Vlad is confident in himself and he's happy to pass the mantle on. He was doing it before AJ was champion.
Because Vlad be fucking these home. Well, I don't want to say I don't want to be rude, but I'm just saying, like, Vlad get his dick wet, bro.
Here's the thing.
But
there's other fighters. Those fighters you're talking about, they love the game. They love the history of what they represent as pugilists. And there's a reason. There's a reason Shakur didn't sign with Floyd. There's a reason Haney didn't sign with Floyd because their managers know. Jay Prince like, no, we ain't signing with him. He's never going to promote you.
Yeah.
Same thing with Haney, Keyshawn Davis. They like Floyd for his skill, but they know he's a shit promoter.
If you're truly confident in yourself, you'll give praise to others.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not. He's not.
That's the
John,
point.
can I just add to the point? Let me just add to the point. Look, he cannot even give respect to the people who came before him, who paved the way for him, like Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson. He doesn't give them any of them respect. Look what he said about Muhammad Ali, and then Mike Tyson said in one interview that he goes, "You're scared, man. You're scared. You need bodyguards around you. You can't even take your children alone. You're a little man. You're a little scared man." And that's true.
Let me say this. Nobody say nothing. People like, and I'm a Floyd fan, by the way, so nobody can accuse me of being biased. I just spent 10 minutes talking about how the difference between how great Floyd was in the ring and other fighters. So nobody can accuse me of being biased against Floyd. The thing with Floyd is that people don't like you, bro. Even though you won unbeaten, that still don't mean people gonna like you. You realize that, right? That you can still be a social pariah with an unbeaten record. Yeah, people don't have to like you, and I think that's what bothers him. That how I beat Canelo, but Canelo get love, and when I was around, I get hate. Well, I'm gonna tell you something about Canelo. He's a very ambitious young man. That's what I'm gonna say. At 31, look at what he's done. At 31, I'm not even gonna compare him to you. Just at 31, compared to everybody that's out there, look at what he's doing. That's why people love him.
Man, Julius doesn't seem.
Whose mic is that, man?
That's Leo.
It's not on mic. Doesn't seem, because you're talking about people don't like Floyd, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Right. But the answer to that is right there. Be a promoter. Be the CEO of your own promotional company, promoting the best fighters in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to do that. I don't understand the promotional job really, really well, but I can imagine that it's a full-time job. You cannot be doing all other things, having fights, promoting other businesses.
Let's say this, Leo. Let's say this, Leo, because this is what always gets me about Mayweather Promotions. Mayweather is said to be the highest earning boxer in the sport of boxing, right? So that means you made more money than everybody else, and that means you have more startup money than everybody else. Now, naturally, you don't use your own money. That's not how you do things. You take out a loan, use the bank's money. You know what I mean? Like it's like you use the banks. Fuck that. You know what I mean? Use the banks. I'm not using my money, but I have money, so you can trust me. Bing, cool. And this is why the whole Floyd is a businessman. No, he's not. He's a puppet. Because if he were a businessman, you would not still be out here fighting on a fucking helipad with a guy that you used to spar.
You tell me there's
I mean, you would be promoting Gel Blaster. Did you get your Gel Blaster, Jules?
Exactly, G. That's what I was just gonna say.
Wait.
Which businessman?
No, if he was a good promoter, I'd have a Gel Blaster. If he were, because I gotta get it.
Yeah, the whole family would have Gel Blasters, right? Gel Blaster fights.
Which athlete do you see? No, whoever's got money, who's billionaire or even who has 100 million, say, yeah, I'm a businessman, I'm this, I'm that. Do you see any of them glowing like that? Bro, they show it on paper. They let other people say, yeah, like, yo, my man's a money man. But when it comes to Floyd, he has to gloat himself. People are just, they don't like me making money. They don't like me making what money?
And it's so weird.
Here's the thing. Jules did a video. Jules, you did a video on it like a month ago saying Floyd talks so much he exposes what's really going on without noticing. When he said, there's fights I haven't even been paid for on the back end yet, that lets me know, like, bro, you might have more money than everybody, which might be maybe $1 million a week or 500,000.
What I'm gonna say is, Floyd at age 46, still talking like a 16-year-old. Oh, they mad at who's mad at you, dog? I don't think anybody's mad if you want to go. Like nobody's mad about it. You know what I mean? Nobody hates it. I certainly don't hate it, but I'm not gonna fucking buy it either.
I can think of someone who thinks it's very funny. 50 Cent's probably laughing.
Bro, I mean, like, look, you 46 years old, and you act like just because it's Floyd that automatically comes with a certain amount of marquee value. You're not being honest with yourself. You fought people that had their own fan bases, and that's why the pay-per-views were big. You by yourself is Berto numbers. That's you by yourself.
I got a question real quick.
Arturo Gatti was the A side.
Yeah, quick question. Like, so before I ask, Isan was saying he's in the back, but also Floyd is 46 years old.
And he's like 46.
Shit, I didn't know he's that old. I thought he was like early 40s. Damn.
No, he's fucking 46, bro. You an old man. In other words, look, a lot of the shit that Floyd says, for example, right? I'm damn near 40. Very close, just a few months. I'm not gonna run around here buying chains and getting different types of tattoos. And I thought about it because I know how to draw and I want to draw something, get a tattoo. But it's like the shit he doing is young shit. Why are you still talking about how much money you got? Yes, we know, bro. Like
Floyd is 45. He's younger than me. He's 77.
Well, he's about to be 46. The point is, when you're in your fucking 40s.
Next year, he's 24th February 1977.
Jules, you might not be buying chains, but that algorithm got you buying Tim boots and Adidas every Saturday.
Oh, yeah, I mean, but
real quick, I wanted to ask Jules before. I know you want to save it for the weekend relay. Early thoughts on if Triple G is going to look a little better at 168, being 40 in the weight cut.
Yeah. They're going to focus. It's not going to be a fat camp. And anybody who's observant won't need me to tell them that Triple G's camp for Canelo won't be a fat camp. So what they're going to focus on is strategy and boxing, because it's not going to be a fat camp. Triple G overall, he's a consummate professional. He makes the weight, right? Not having to cut. We're talking about not having to cut 8 pounds. He'll look better. But he's still getting stopped.
At a 40-year-old man, too.
But he's still getting stopped, though. And I said that 2.5 years ago. He's still getting stopped. Believe it. He's
Jules, about that. I'm the go-to guy for everybody asking to be let in. Chris is want to be let in now too.
Yeah, but it's too many people backstage. Like, we got look. We got. This is why I gotta chill with how many people is on. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right now. No, 6, and it's still 3 more in the back. Like, y'all gotta wait.
I'll be okay. Who at this stage, and this is an open question for the panel too. Who at this stage beats Triple G at this point? What middleweights are out there you think beats him?
None of those.
Not Charlo.
None of them.
Not Charlo. Not Andrade. Andrade would be a good fight. 50,
Andrade
55,
stands. All right. Let me answer the question. Andrade stands the best chance because he can stay out of the way of the punches longer than the other guys. Like, Jamal is not that good. I can't stress that enough. He's not that good. With Andrade, it's the reason I think he can beat Andrade is because Liam Williams eventually caught up to you. You know that, right? As the fight progressed, you slowed down and he started catching up to you. You beat him. Cool. But he caught up to you. If Liam Williams can catch up to you, Triple G will catch up to you.
Liam hurt him in the 9th.
Yeah. So I'm not going to say that I would pick Andre to beat him because based on what I've seen, I think Triple G could still get him even now. Like, let's say the next fight where Andre Triple G, I'd go Triple G, late stoppage, late. You're going to make him look bad early. You're going to dance and move and hit and move, and you're going to have an early lead, but he's going to catch up to you and he's going to stop you. I've seen you against Jack Coquet. I saw that fight. Many people didn't. I saw it. He didn't look good in that fight. Andre's never been down before. He never got knocked down. I'm like, yo, dude, like,
Julius dropped him. Did he?
I'm not saying. I'm not sure how this fight goes, but what do you think if Eubank fought Triple G?
He gets stopped early.
You think?
Why you have to even mention Eubank?
Eubank won't find his
early.
Eubank's chin is not going to allow that to happen.
No, he'll get stopped. Listen to me. No, wait. Let me tell you something. If you think that Chris has a better chin than Ryota, you're crazy.
Well, he took full-blown punches off George Groves, didn't he?
Yeah, but George was fighting one-handed.
I mean, will Eubank even find his pen to sign the contract for that fight, though?
Remember that George hurt his shoulder. Hold on. Remember that George. Huh?
At the end of the fight.
During the fight. It wasn't at the start.
True.
And Chris was not elusive. One thing that Chris does have is he's got his dad's chin.
I don't think for a second. I'm gonna go way out on a limb. I don't think for a second Chris Eubank Jr. finishes a Ryota Murata fight on his feet. What he can do now wait. Okay. What he can do is what Rob Brandt did, because what Chris has over a Ryota Murata, for example, is Chris is a combination puncher. If you can throw 3 punches to every Murata 1 punch, which is what Rob Brandt did. For every 1 punch Murata threw, Rob threw 3 or 4. You can outwork him. With Triple G, that's not happening, bro. The more you open up, the more he gonna fuck you up, man. He gonna fuck you up. Chris ain't it, man.
I think Triple G land over him and mark him up and beat him badly.
You know, can I say something? Is it fair to say now that now, if Canelo beats Bivol, and we get the third fight, I think that's going to be the end of Triple G.
Yeah.
Is it fair to say?
That's what
He made
No.
loads of money. That's his
Here's my
plan.
prediction. Here's my
That's his plan.
prediction.
That's what I've always said he was gonna do.
Remember what I told y'all ahead of the Caleb Plant fight? That look, he's gonna get knocked out. He's gonna go home. He's gonna bust a nut in Jordan. They're gonna have a kid. Literally, no, but it's not cap. Isn't that what I said?
Yeah.
So
You predicted it.
if you Triple G and you just made like 14 or however many M's with Murata, and you about to get another big ass payday with Canelo, bro, what am I? I'm not gonna keep fighting.
That's 100%. He's just been hanging around, preserving himself for that retirement fund. And he's got a nice bonus with the Murata fight, giving him a big payday too. Triple G.
Well, with Steve Rolls, he got 14 million. With Steve Rolls, 14 million.
I'm just saying, like if it's me, bro. If I'm Triple G, look, I'm gonna go in there. And I think it's gonna be a fun fight. I think it's gonna be dramatic. I think it's gonna be dramatic like the second fight was, maybe more dramatic, because this time, if Canelo beats Bivol, and y'all need to watch that fight, don't look past Dimitri, because that's bad motherfucker, and he switched on. But if Canelo beats that guy and he fights Triple G for a third time, that third fight is going to be a fun watch.
Yeah, but Julius, if Canelo loses to Bivol, he's going to fight Triple G anyway.
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course.
So either way, it's going to be a fun fight. He'll just go back down to super middleweight.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because he's not going to lose his 168 belts, is he?
Yeah.
That's 175. That's 175. So, yeah.
The reason Canelo's taking that fight is because it's a sensible risk.
Yeah.
Like Bivol, you might lose, but if you win, that's legacy. And if you lose, okay, I'll go back to 168. I'm still undisputed. I fight Triple G and we carry on.
Yeah, carry on. Shit. Because this is the main thing, right? And this is why Canelo has the fans, right? And this is why Zerto and David Benavidez are morons. Since when do Mexican fight fans care about unbeaten records? When? When did that start? That y'all preserving y'all O's. Y'all don't want to take chances and be.
I've got a question for you. When did the Americans start caring about it? When did the Americans start caring about it? Because
with Floyd. With Floyd.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Other fans that aren't Mexican try to tell us what we care about in boxing. It's hilarious.
Basics.
When if Benavidez and Zerto fought, they'd be next for Canelo because the Mexican fans would demand it.
No belt. I'm telling you right now, they announced a fight like that at light heavyweight. Zerto Ramirez, David Benavidez for the Mexican championship of the world, right? Whatever, right? All the Chicano fans is gonna come, bro. All the Mexican fans gonna come. Just because, right? But they don't think like that. Their managers don't think like that. Like, since when do Mexican fight fans care about unbeaten records? Because I never seen that shit. Zerto need to take a chance. Benavidez need to take a chance. Stop waiting on Jamal to fight you at super middleweight and move your big ass upstairs.
It goes back to the whole thing you was talking about at the very beginning of this. Risk equals entertainment. People want to watch someone take a risk.
Yeah.
Whether it's your style in the ring, the matchups that you make, whatever it is, that is what creates entertainment. We don't know what's going to happen. They're taking a risk. Someone's going to lose.
I got a hot take. Can I say? I got a very hot take. I think Floyd Mayweather has ruined boxing, and that's it. Floyd Mayweather has ruined American boxing, I should say. People up there for the boxers, he made good money for himself, or whatever money he made, so-called money he made. But I think he ruined boxing more than anything, because now people are scared to lose their O's.
I want to, Julius.
Go ahead.
Let me say this. I think boxing takes a lot of the boxers. Takes something from them. His health, sometimes their money. Floyd took something from boxing.
And this is why I don't agree. The real difference, the difference that we're talking about in the American boxing scene mostly pertains to how boxing fans perceive boxing. And a lot of people that think they know what defense in boxing looks like, a lot of people that think they understand the sport, that's who we're talking about. We're not talking about the boxers themselves, because look at where the sport is now. You know, we got a cash cow in the UK. We got a cash cow in America. We just seen a cash cow get the shit beat out of him in Asia, right? The sport is okay, right? I don't think Floyd took something from it. I just think that he made a lot of motherfuckers that don't know shit about boxing think they know something about boxing. That's what I think happened.
Because Floyd isn't the one doing the matchmaking where people aren't taking risks.
Yeah.
People got to get off Floyd. It's like the PBC should take some responsibility for people preserving their hours, but Floyd does not the PBC. He doesn't do anything.
Even Floyd himself said it about 4 years ago that these guys are getting too much money. I wasn't getting money like that. Remember when he said that on Fight Hype?
When Floyd was a lightweight, he took risks. He was entertaining. He fought the fights. He did the work. So people just need to get off Floyd. Floyd is Floyd. The situation in boxing's got nothing to do with Floyd.
Yeah, like
the thing. Dudes are demanding more to fight Canelo than they got to fight Floyd.
Yeah, like I don't think look, overall Floyd didn't ruin boxing, right? If there's a faction of stupid motherfuckers, I'm gonna let you in on a secret. They were stupid before they started watching boxing, bro. Stupid, bro. Ask one of them motherfuckers the difference between slipping a punch and weaving a punch. Ask them.
Shoulder roll, legend.
That's all I know. We gonna roll it just the powder. Ask them. What's the difference between slip and weaving a punch? What's the difference between riding a punch and slipping a punch? What's the difference? What's the difference between a straight right and a right cross? What's the difference? What's the 1-2-1 combination? What is that?
And let's look at the current biggest problem with American boxing. Crawford and Spence didn't fight. So that's got nothing to do with Floyd.
Yeah, that's not because of Floyd.
With Floyd. Nothing.
Look, what I see is young Shakur Stevenson is about to fight Oscar Valdez. That's what I see. I see Devin Haney bit the fucking bullet. Let's go to Australia. That's what I see. So, nothing's fucked up. The fights that need to happen, they happening. That's what I see. You know what I mean? The fights that need to happen. So
the only thing that Floyd ruined was the fighters from this generation that are going out that are with PBC. That's it.
No, he didn't, and we
Well,
can't. No, we cannot. We cannot blame. Listen, we cannot blame him.
Not Floyd. PBC is.
He must have some responsibility, though. I'm not.
No.
That's his influence on the boxing, though. No.
Why aren't you putting on Al Heyman? Al Heyman owns these dudes.
There you go.
He can say, you fight this guy or you're not getting paid. He can do that. He's not doing it.
Yeah, I put it on Al. Hold on. I put it on Al more than Floyd because these are Al Heyman's fighters, not Floyd's. They're Al Heyman's fighters. If anybody's fucking things up, like, okay, who took from boxing? Al Heyman, not Floyd. Floyd is Floyd, bro. He a fighter. He about to fight on a helicopter pad. Whatever, right? But if Jamal ain't fighting fucking Demetrius, that ain't Floyd's fault. That's Jamal's fault, his manager's fault, and Al Heyman's fault. Stefan Espinosa's fault, too.
We've just been talking about Benavidez not fighting. That's got nothing to do with Floyd.
What I meant from that, I know it has nothing to do with Floyd, but just because Floyd didn't lose his O, now people think that they don't want to lose their O's either. Just because Floyd Mayweather has just put so much emphasis on that O that I cannot lose my O, I'm unbeaten. I think that's the problem. That's what
here's what you're saying. Floyd had an indirect effect on the PBC guys. He didn't say do this.
Listen. No. You can't. You know why you can't say that? Hold on.
I'm just gonna add one point. When it came to the Wilder, when he was getting 120 million from the zone, they said, that's Floyd's money. That's camp money.
Listen,
that's Floyd's camp money.
Can I explain? Okay, that's not. Wilder didn't do that. What? Yes. All right. Al Heyman brought up the name of Floyd, but what's really at work here? Wilder, it's because you're not that good. You're not a generational talent. Regardless of Floyd, you're not a generational talent. You're comparing yourself to a generational talent, which you're not. You can't compare when we put their resumes side by side or their contribution to the sport. You can't put Wilder next to Floyd. You can't put none of them next to Floyd. That's not because of Floyd Wilder did that. It's because you're not that good.
Julius,
that's what it is.
The other thing with why Wilder didn't fight AJ, it's got a lot to do with when AJ discontinued his relationship with Showtime. That's when it all started kicking off.
Yeah.
When things went sour, Wilder went to commentate on Vlad versus AJ.
Yeah, he was there.
And from that point forward, after that, when AJ wasn't on Showtime anymore, they weren't making that fight because they thought they were going to get that fight on Showtime.
Look, this is listen, let me do this. Let me do this. This is how you know that Wilder never wanted to fight AJ. The argument was for Showtime to be involved, for Showtime to get the fight. After Wilder rejected the zone's offer, Stephen Espinoza gave a speech about how they were going to be in the Wilder business. The very next fight, Wilder was on Fox. It's like, yo, dog, like, so wait, I thought you didn't fight AJ because you wanted things to happen on Showtime. Why you have Fox, bro?
No, but
I thought you was going to be loyal to them.
Controlling Wilder, not what Wilder said.
Yeah,
so they wanted the AJ money. They wanted that fight for the cash that it was going to generate.
No, they didn't want the fight, bro. Trust me.
I think when they had the rights to AJ, they were happy because they thought they'd get the rights to AJ.
They lost the rights in about. They lost the rights.
It was
AJ.
the Vlad fight. It's the Vlad fight is when it was split promotion, and then AJ didn't fight on Showtime after that.
Yeah, right? But all right, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me, dog. Listen to me.
Last point. Spinoza thought he was going to get to promote AJ.
Okay, after the Klitschko fight, Showtime had no rights to AJ's fights. They had no rights to him, right? Showtime's stance looks a lot like what it was. Is unless it's going to be on Showtime, it's not going to happen. And even with that, I don't believe that they wanted to fight. I'm being generous saying that because everything you did seems to indicate that you didn't want the fight. You just wanted to ride the wave. That's what you were doing. You were riding the wave.
I think Stephen Espinoza thought he was going to replace Wilder with AJ when AJ beat him. And then when he found out that wasn't going to happen, they blocked it. That's what I think.
I think this is what I think.
The way they wanted to build Wilder's pay-per-view status off AJ here.
That's what I think. That's what I think. And listen. Don't say nothing. Don't say everybody chill. All right. Now look at what happened with Charlo and Canelo, right? Circa 2018. All these morons and mouth breathers are running around saying Canelo ducked Charlo when Roberto Diaz, Oscar De La Hoya, they said it. Yo, we offered him the fight. He turned it down. So wait a minute. If they offered you the fight and your people turned it down, why are you still calling him out? Because you're riding his wave. You're riding. You don't want to fight him. What you want to do is ride his wave to sell your bum ass fights. That's what you.
If you go back and you look at the timeline of it, none of that happened until post-Vlad fight. And the reason I'm saying that, so even when you're watching Wilder commentate on the Vlad fight, he's talking about how great it is, how he wants some of this, how he wants to come and do this. As soon as they find out AJ's gone from Showtime, they get Wilder up on a stage and they start calling AJ this coward. Yeah,
because he was supposed to be, bro. It wasn't to get the fight though. That was because they wanted to turn Wilder.
They didn't want the fight at this point. They knew they weren't getting it. They knew they weren't getting AJ. As soon as they knew they weren't getting AJ, they were blocking AJ from fighting Wilder.
Now listen,
riding the wave to try and capitalize on what they'd lost.
Listen to me. They already knew that AJ commands a bigger audience and generates more revenue. So they know if we approach the fight, we approach it as the B side. So we don't actually want the fight. What we're going to do is use the synergy from the fight to build up Wilder. Because Wilder's career don't take off until what, 2016? He's been around since 2008.
Julius, my point is AJ had a contract with Showtime.
Yeah, but it was
had an exclusive deal with Showtime.
All right.
And the whole switch up is when AJ ended that contract.
Now listen to me. For the Klitschko fight, there was no exclusivity. HBO bought rights to the Klitschko fight also for $1 million, as did Showtime.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, what I'm saying, now listen to me. What I'm saying is Showtime didn't want to actually do the fight. What makes you think they wanted to do it? What, they want to send Wilder to the UK? No,
hold on.
But they can't afford AJ either. So how could it be their intention? How could it be their intention to do the fight, right? When you can't afford him, you can't afford AJ, you can't afford him, you don't have him under contract, but also you don't want to send Wilder to the UK. It can't be your intention to do the fight.
But what would the exclusive US AJ rights have been worth if he had have knocked him out?
Say it again.
So let's say AJ knocks out Wilder, Showtime, who did at one stage have the exclusive rights to AJ fights in the States. What would those rights to AJ have been worth if AJ knocks out Wilder?
Now, here's the problem. Right, here's the problem with the theory. What was AJ's marquee value in America circa 2016, 2017, 2018? Not a lot.
I'm actually genuinely asking you because I don't know.
What Wilder's worth would have been? Nothing.
No, AJ is worth in the States.
Oh, AJ's worth it?
Yeah.
You mean if they actually had him and promoted him? Okay, but that's too out there, bro. His core audience that generates all this money was in the United Kingdom.
No,
He was already worth a lot of money. Showtime was in a situation to where we got a heavyweight and we don't really got a lot to do with him. So what we can do is, basically what's been going on with Charlo and Benavidez. We're just going to use name association to promote our heavyweight. They didn't actually want the fight, bro.
And here's why they didn't want it, bro. They didn't want it because they didn't want the fight.
One at a time. Go ahead,
They didn't want the fight because, one, it had to be in the UK. And the American fans aren't going to buy that pay-per-view in the afternoon. They would have lost so much money, like they're going to lose money on Fury White over here.
Well, that's different.
It's the same thing.
No, it's the same thing. Listen. This is the situation that it would have been. Let's say that Showtime would have been on board to do the fight, to actually do the fight with AJ. Let's say they would have got it over the line. You're looking at a rights deal, bro. It's a rights deal at most for Showtime. And they didn't want that. Like, well, we don't just want $1 million to show the fight in the fucking afternoon, because the way it is, if we try to do the fight, we know underneath it all, AJ is the A side to Wilder. We know he is. He generates more money by far than Wilder does. So the only way we do this fight is to acquiesce to Wilder being the B side, which means Wilder, get your passport out because you need to go to the UK. At which point, if the fight is in the UK, well, Showtime doesn't really benefit from that. An afternoon, evening fight? No. They want a pay-per-view to be in America. That's why they sought out Fury as an alternative to Wilder. And that spelt the end.
Yeah, so Julius, why did they sign a contract for the exclusive rights to AJ in the States?
They didn't. You're talking about, you can't say that the rights were exclusive and HBO had the same rights that Showtime had for the Klitschko fight.
Right, okay. So I can document this because I've argued it with people at the time, and they've come up with a counter argument that he did have a right, they did have rights, and that AJ breached or ended that contract. They did a 3 or a 4 fight deal with AJ for the US rights. And yeah, I think that contract comes to an end for the Klitschko fight, which is why it's joint. Or possibly it was because Klitschko was still under contract with HBO, so they did it as a joint thing. Because Klitschko was a HBO.
Yeah, he was.
So the whole reason Showtime could actually show the fight in the first place was because AJ was a Showtime fighter.
Yeah, but it's kind of a redundant argument to make because after the Klitschko fight, AJ's not in bed with Showtime anymore.
No, but that's when it turns sour. That's my point.
And I'm saying because he's not in bed with them anymore, right? And they know what he can do. They know what he can draw. It was not their intention to send Wilder over there because the only way that fight happens is if you send him over there. They were not going to do that.
Julius, that is what I'm saying, though. As soon as it becomes apparent to them that AJ isn't anything to do with Showtime anymore, that's when we start hearing all the pressure.
It's not even that. They weren't going to make that money back.
Yeah.
They knew it was going to cost.
They wanted to punish
one at a time. Go ahead, Drew. One at a time. One at a time. Go ahead.
Not punishment because AJ was going to make money. AJ was going to make money regardless in America if it was HBO or Showtime. They knew that they had no leverage to control AJ.
It's more like this. It's not even that. It's more like this. If AJ's the A side, and the only way we do this fight is to send Wilder to him, we know that if we send Wilder to him, we don't benefit but so much from sending Wilder to him. So we're not going to do that. What we are going to do is use name association. We're going to use his buzz to get him a buzz. It is not our intention to send Wilder over to him. It is our intention to dangle the fight fans with this fight, when in reality, we know we're not going to do it. Unless he can catch up to him here in America in terms of marquee value, unless he can, this fight don't happen.
I agree.
And that was always the case.
I agree with all of that. I agree with all of that. But if you actually look at the dates of when it switches, it's from the joint HBO Showtime promotion of Vlad and AJ. That's my point.
Yeah, but
that's not a point, though.
Oh, all right,
it is, because maybe.
Hold on. Everybody shut up. Everybody shut up. Wilder versus AJ didn't become a hot topic until after Joshua versus Klitschko. After that is when it became a hot topic. After that. Yeah, people talked about it a little bit before that, but after that, that's when all of that really started, after the Klitschko fight. And what I'm saying is it's redundant to bring that up, because AJ wasn't in bed with Showtime anymore. It's not about that anymore. For Showtime, we're stuck with this fucking heavyweight. We don't even have all the heavyweights. We got the PBC heavyweights. We don't even have all the heavyweights, not all the relevant ones. We don't want to send Wilder over there to Joshua just to be the B-side. We want to capitalize off this somehow. But we know we don't got the money to bring AJ to us. We don't have it. No, we don't have it. So what can we do? Name association. That's all we can do, because that's all you saw.
Here's how you know they never wanted the fight. Wilder wasn't even going to go across the pond to fight Povetkin until the purse bid. They wanted to shield Wilder and clout chase off of every name guy like they're doing with Canelo. It was the same thing.
Like they got Fury. They got Fury because their whole thing was, we want to eclipse Anthony Joshua. That's what the play was. Why else do you give Fury a title shot that he hasn't earned? He wasn't a fucking mandatory. It's a voluntary. Why are you giving him this title shot? He hasn't earned it. You didn't want to give White a title shot.
Well,
why are you giving it to Fury?
There's another reason they gave it to Fury. They thought he couldn't knock Wilder out.
Oh, yeah. Because everybody knows Fury. In that time, nobody thought of Fury as a puncher. But even still, it's not just we're giving him a title shot because he can't knock us out. It was a play. Like,
100% was a play. And
it was a
also a play by Fury. If you actually look at it, Fury was super clever making that play, because that got him back in the mix. Surviving against Wilder got people talking about Fury back in the top 10 after fighting Silva Safari and Francis Pianetta. And it actually put him right back up there. So Fury was the one playing chess, and they were playing checkers at the end of the day.
Like, their play was, we're going to try to eclipse Anthony Joshua by matching Wilder against a guy Joshua hasn't fought, a guy Joshua hasn't beat, his domestic rival, Tyson Fury. We know he's on the rebound. We know he just fought two fucking nobodies and didn't look like anything, really. The Safari fight was a glorified sparring session. Who's the other guy? Francesco Pianetta. Come on, bro. Like, he didn't look like no world beater in that fight. The play was, we want to eclipse Anthony Joshua's marquee value, but we want to do it here in America. So what we're going to do is we're going to conjure up one of his domestic rivals. Instead of the one that could actually punch, they conjure up the one with a reputation for being feather-fisted, right? That was the play. We don't actually want to fight Anthony Joshua. We just want to eclipse him. We don't want to fight him because you couldn't match his marquee value. Even now, Anthony Joshua made more from the Ruiz rematch than Wilder made fighting fucking Fury 3 times. It's fucking ridiculous, bro.
Hey, Jules, you see the comment though? You're so biased. But he ain't
why you think I put it up there? I'm about to post a link for him. Let me get a link. I don't know what I'm biased.
Here we go again.
We better
please click the link.
You won't click it.
Please click the link.
We'll leave the room.
He's not gonna do it.
I'll kick everybody off.
Jules, he ain't gonna do it. Watch. We're here again.
I don't know. Maybe he'll surprise me.
I think he's tired of your Frank Sanchez Cuban fighter slander, Jules.
Frankie Sanchez is fucking boring. You couldn't pay me to watch that. Dude.
Wait. Y'all haven't heard? Y'all haven't heard the news?
What?
Frankie Sanchez on the undercard for White Fury.
Oh my God, you lying?
I'm lying. Yeah.
For real shit, yo. Like, click the link, bro. I'm biased. Come tell me how biased I am. You know what I mean? But yeah, like they never wanted. From the moment that situation started, the way they were moving to me indicated to me that they don't actually want the fight. They just want to get Wilder to a place to where he can sell in America and generate in America what AJ is generating in the UK and abroad. That's what the play was. It wasn't. They never wanted the fight. Period. Just at all, dog. Like, because even now he's the B-side to Anthony Joshua. Look at what the Saudis are offering up for the Usyk rematch. Look, like, bro.
Now, Jules, do you like that rematch there?
Doesn't make a difference.
I mean,
Yeah, it
I
makes
need
no
them to
odds.
hurry up and confirm so I can get that flight because flights are cheap right now.
Hey man. Let me read the super chat. Jacob Sims, say the line, Drew, at your own peril. Yeah, like the fuck.
I mean, stop him when he tells a lie, y'all.
He's asking, what about Cuba uplifting the ban from Cuban fighters? What about it?
Go watch that Ring IQ video. He broke it down.
Why don't
about it?
I literally made a whole video about it, dog? Like, what the fuck are you, a moron?
Hey, Jules, how did I know it was about Cuban? Hey, Jules, how did I know it was about your Cuban fighter slander? How did I know?
like, what are you, fucking slow, dog? Like,
Wait. I got a question for this Armando. Are you Cuban, sir?
Yeah, he is.
Well,
it
his
says El
name is
Cubano.
El Cubano, so I reckon.
Hey,
Armando
no. Let me say this. I like Cuban sandwiches, but I'm not big on Cuban boxers. I'm sorry.
There's good Cuban boxers.
Unless it's Dorticos. Dorticos
Unless-
is entertaining.
David Morrell, Uniel Dorticos, I like them, but you could save all that. I'm gonna stay way out here and just jab shit. Like, I don't want to watch that shit.
Armando, click the link.
Why do Cuban fighters act like they're fencing, Jules?
Why the
Like
Cuban?
it's fencing
No.
match.
What? No. Never mind how they act. How they act is their own prerogative. Why am I supposed to care? I want to see somebody get knocked out. That's why I got up at 6 a.m, because I knew somebody was gonna get knocked out. I don't want to watch Rigo run around the ring. I don't care who don't like it.
I just
Julius,
want to say I really like his name of YouTube, Armando Colon, el cubano desde Cuba, from Cuba para Cuba. Where is that place? Do you say that state that everyone has to know where you're from?
Oh no, that's like Texas, because them Texas motherfuckers don't shut the fuck up about Texas. I'm gonna say that he's acting like a New Yorican. If you've ever been to New York, right? Puerto Ricans don't get tired of telling you how Puerto Rican they are. Go to the Bronx, bro. Puerto Rican flags everywhere. Nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying that's how they are. Like, that's how they are.
Julius, you know the difference between the Cuban boxing and just average boxing is the difference between Floyd's shoulder roll and Caleb Plant's shoulder roll.
Let me read this. Let me read this. Cuba finna come take over now, but I see mostly Mexican fighters finna avoid them. They are?
That's great. That's great, Armando. Are you going to click the link or not?
Jules, aren't the Cuban fighters in a deal to train in Mexico and fight in Mexican cards?
If
that
not
the
for
news
these,
was just announced.
let me talk, bro. If not for the Mexicans that you trying to play, your Cuban fighters don't even get to come over here, bro. You should be thanking them. You should kiss the ring, because if not for Mexico, them Cuban cats wouldn't get a break.
And I'm gonna tell you why Cubans don't really like Mexicans. Because Mexico pardoned Castro when Cuba kicked him out the first time. They welcomed him with open arms.
Look, I'm not a politician. What I know is that if you think that AMI shit is going to win you every belt in the pros, I can't wait for them to start. I'm not joking. Shut up. All right. Just because you win a couple of medals in 3-round amateur fights, this is the pros, B. You got to do that 4 times. 4 times. What's 3 times 4? What's a championship boxing match? 12 rounds.
And that also goes back to where you started off in that style is not entertaining for 12 rounds. Nobody wants to watch you for 12 rounds.
He said, I'm just saying UK and Mexico fighters be avoiding Black American fighters. Ain't Oscar Valdez about to fight Shakur Stevenson?
Oh, God.
Last time I checked, Canelo's fought more black fighters than Charlo and Tank combined.
I'm going to tell you what. This is what I think. You're going to find out how different the pros are to the amateurs. That's what I think.
I got a question. Is that Armando Colon El Cubano really Christopher Marshall?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
That's
he
what he
is.
sound like.
No, because I love how people think that just because you want a gold medal, it's gonna go that way in the pros. No, it's not.
Does he know Henry?
Yeah, they're going to school robbery.
Guys, right quick. Wasn't Henry Tillman?
That's the name I was drawing for.
Who beat Mike Tyson?
What happened? I just want to know. Wait. I just want to know. Wait. Was Lara too skilled for fucking Jared Hurd? Was he too skilled? Was he too skilled for Brian Castano?
Angulo.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, Jules, I got a question.
What happened to Tillman when he fought Mike in the pros? Then he gets started like 49 seconds. What it was?
That amateur shit. Look, I think that amateur shit is cool, but it's in the name, amateur.
Jules, I got a question. During the fight this morning, how many times did you say punch him in the dick?
Like 5. I did say like 5. Murata, listen though, because he was punching him in the dick. He was. Watch the fight, B.
You know he was.
Shots was low as shit. Shots was low as shit. But now look,
it's a fight.
No, hold on, but see, this is the thing. I gotta address the shit. Like, I don't want to get off subject. I gotta address the shit. I hope that the Cuban guys like Andy Cruz, I hope they have success. But I'm not saying what I'm saying out of hate. I'm saying what I'm saying because that's how it goes. That amateur shit is cool. That does not guarantee success in the pros. It doesn't. If that sounds like hate to you, you're too fucking sensitive. Mikhail Aloyan had a decorated amateur career. As a pro, Mikhail Nikitin, the guy who beat Mick Conlon in the amateurs. What's his pro career going like? You know what I mean? You gonna get a rude awakening, bro. Amateur is 3 rounds. Pro is 12. All that point scoring shit. I hope some of them guys can punch. That's what I hope. Because if they can't and they think they're gonna be running around here pity pat, make Keyshawn Davis versus Andy Cruz in the pros. My money's on Keyshawn.
They don't even what they don't understand is they don't even score the same in the pros like they do the Amis. It's a whole different scoring system.
Haven't they reintroduced body shots back into the amateurs though? Because at one point they actually couldn't score with a body shot in amateurs, and that was really detrimental.
Let me see. Had to run up on Cinnamon to get a fight, and Cinnamon was shook. He was saying that's not how you do business. What you talking about, Lara? The dude that got stopped by the dude that got dropped, I should say, by Hurd, outworked by Castano. I'm sorry, bro. Cuban boxers have a reputation that precedes them, and it's based on amateur success, not professional success. Because, okay, how many Cuban champions are out there right now? Name one, please.
Luis Ortiz.
He's a champion.
I don't know.
Jordani Sugas.
Right. So out of the whole, all right. So good work, Leo. That's one. Now name me another one. Crickets? I'm just saying, if they're so good, right, and the amateur shit is so important, all right, how many Cuban champions we got?
Jordani Sugas.
That's it. And for fighting a 42-year-old man, not even for fighting him, because
Sanchez
winning a vacant title.
Well, I'm gonna stop beating around. Let me stop beating around the bush. Cuban school is overrated. Good for the amateurs, not so great in the pros. That's what I'm getting at.
Does David Moreau count?
No. Do you count regular titles?
The PBC does.
Watching Murata Triple G will get Melo body. Well, yeah, he's gonna go to his body. I'm like, I'm tired of the Cuban school thing. Like, bro, like, it's cool for the amateurs if you're trying to win a gold medal. I guess it's cool. And somebody brought up a very valid point last week that I didn't even think about, that a lot of the guys competing, well, they're going into these amateur games and these Olympic games with a lot of experience because that's all they do. They don't go pro. So, yeah, things are going to change. I think they're going to change.
How Triple G gave his robe away to Murata. He's never done that before.
That was nice.
Classy guy.
That was nice. It was nice. But yeah, things are going to change, bro. I believe they're going to change. because the whole thing is that their area of expertise is the amateur scene, which is cool. It's cool for the Olympics. That's cool. But the pros is a different beast. And I don't know that you have like what I like about the pros versus the Amis is if you're a late starter, you probably won't make a great amateur. But if you're a late starter in the pros, you are going to have success because while this guy's fading, you're just getting stronger. That's the difference between the pros and the amateurs.
Julius, when the Soviet Union was dissolved and all these boxers came out to the pro rankings, how was this transition at that time? Do you remember? It was similar to I mean, there is a similarity between the Cuban and the Russian school of boxing. How they translate to pros?
I would say that there's similarity in terms of amateur success, but not similarity in terms of
Russian boxing's a lot. They hit a lot harder.
Yeah, that's the difference.
They punch. I mean,
Look,
whatever you might think about as the Crusher, he could punch.
All right. One of the most defining characteristics of the Cuban school of boxing is a lot of these guys are guys that fight on the balls of their feet. They're not necessarily artillery guys. And you can do that for 3 rounds, but not in the pros. You're going to need some kind of power to keep these guys off of you. I hope they get all the opportunities to fight as many Mexican boxers as they can get. So you'll see the difference.
Also, if you look at the Russian boxers, they're good at getting in and getting out.
Yeah, they got a lot of in and out. But the point that the guy's making, even though it hasn't happened yet, is that supposedly a lot of the Mexican fighters are avoiding Cubans. When did that happen?
Well,
that's the point. That's the point that he raised. He raised.
Yeah, but he's clearly he's calling you biased. I think he's the one that's got a bias.
Clearly, if his name is El Cubano, how am I the biased one?
Like, where is there a demand for a Mexican to fight a Cuban?
Nowhere.
Exactly. There's not even a big demand for a unification between Spence and Ugas. It's a second tier option because they don't want to make the Crawford fight.
You know, I give a lot of shit lately to Triple G in his later career, but today he proved what a world champion is. You fight all over the world. He fought in Japan, the UK, Monaco after Canelo. Like, come on. That's what
I see he changed his name to Gary Antoine Russell. I think that's the same guy because I don't see him no more.
There's another guy, Justin 9, saying this is the most racist, biased shit. What the fuck?
All right, so click the link and tell me all about it.
Yeah, Justin 9.
Go ahead, Leo. Go ahead, Leo.
Armando, relájate. Están recién saliendo de esa Cuba comunista y están entrando los profesionales. Date tiempo, ve lo que pueden hacer tus boxeadores y después nos hablas.
Nah, I mean, I want them to get the opportunities because I'm going to be proven right again. So by all means, make the fights and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
I want to see.
No, wait, let me change this shit. When I told people that Jared Hurd was going to, and I remember this, I wasn't on YouTube as much. I was on Facebook. And I say, yo, Jared Hurd is going to run through that, man. He's too much. All that fencing and all that riding around, that shit ain't going to work. Motherfuckers thought I was crazy because Larry's so skilled. Oh, he's so skilled. But look what happened.
Julius, I think there's a good chance that Ugas is going to beat Spence. And then we're going to get Spence versus Crawford. And then we're going to see how Cuba gets on again.
Oh, no, you mean Ugas versus Crawford?
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't think Ugas is going to win that fight. I think Crawford's going to destroy him.
All 3 of you hit the link. Is he telling us to hit the link or?
I know
Armando and the other couple guys.
Yeah, hit the link, man.
At the same point, I don't understand what you're being racist about. I'm pretty certain you're one of the biggest supporters of Terence Crawford.
Exactly. It doesn't make sense. I don't think you could find a bigger Terence Crawford fan on YouTube. I don't think.
I just think the problem is nobody likes Jules making money off talking boxing, and they don't.
No, I think what they don't like is that they can't accuse me of all these different things because the fucking fighters they like are boring. You can't accuse me of that. I like Crawford. The fuck is you talking about? but you like boring fucking fighters. They're boring. And I won't hesitate to call them boring. Nobody on planet Earth is going to get up at 6 in the morning.
And let's talk about skill as well. People trying to say that Crawford has no skill just because he's entertaining.
Yeah.
Crawford's one of the most skilled, most entertaining. Yeah, he's got flaws.
They don't know what skills. Listen, they don't know what skills are, bro. They don't know what skills are.
This is why I came in on this. This is where I started off in this whole chat. Is why I came in. I'm sick of the narrative that skilled fighting is avoiding danger.
Yeah. If you're not
skilled,
if
is winning by setting up your punches, setting traps, and taking the other man out. Was Archie Moore a skilled boxer? Of
course he was.
Exactly, and like Archie used to get hit too.
Because let me change the shit because I'm getting flustered. What I'm getting at is you like boring fighters because you think that skill is being boring. When you're so far on the outside of the punches that it's not even a fight, that's not a skill. You're just being intimidated by the other guy. You don't want to engage. It takes skill to step into the fire and work and secure the W, which is why I brought up Jarrett Hurd and Erislandy Lara. On the face of it, if you look at them, oh yeah, Lara has a prettier style, but it won't hold up. Maybe if this was an amateur fight, you know, maybe that'll work. But in a professional 12-round fight, you're not gonna win doing that shit. That's why it didn't work for Rigo with Casemiro. That's why it didn't work.
Julius, it's even worse than that. He's rooting for these fighters because they are from their country.
Yeah.
Dude, if you wanna be tribal, if you wanna be un nacionalista, there is a sport for you.
Yeah.
It's called football soccer.
No, amateur boxing. Stick to the amateurs.
Go watch. Go
on, Leo. He's Cuban. He can't really get involved in football. There is no football for the Cubans.
Yeah, there isn't.
You can't.
Oh shit!
You can't do that to him. That's not fair. That's not fair.
My bad.
But so unbiased, right? My favorite Floyd fight is when he took out Ricky Hatton. Ricky Hatton's from the UK. Why do we have to? We don't. Like you can appreciate Floyd's boxing. You can appreciate Triple G's boxing, Inouye's boxing. You can appreciate all the fucking boxing from all the different countries in the world. You can appreciate Dorticus because he's fun to watch.
He's fun to, and I do.
My favorite cruiserweight.
Somebody getting knocked out, the KO doctor. All right, but how can a guy who has Cuba in his name and is advocating for Cuban fighters accuse me of being biased when you're wearing your bias on your sleeve? You think I'm supposed to be extra nice to them? No, they're boring. I'm sorry if the majority of them are boring. But this is not amateur boxing. This is pro boxing. It is different. And you'll see the difference when they let them fight. Trust me, you'll see the difference. Because a lot of amateurs that were very good amateurs, look at what just happened to Mick Conlon, top tier amateur, got taken out by Lee Wood. What are the chances that a guy like Lee Wood could win a gold medal in a 3-round fight? Not much.
Zero.
But in a 12-round fight, what did he do?
Well, exactly. And it was fun.
That's the difference.
It was fun as well. Let's talk about like Clarissa Shields and why she doesn't have a fan base. It's because her style is boring as hell.
Who are you talking about? I never heard of her. Who?
I don't know who that is. Don't do that. Don't fucking do that.
I had real quick, Jules. I had a question. When did you think the Murata fight changed for G? When they knocked the mouthpiece out?
The 3rd round for me. I was doing a play-by-play. No, not the 3rd round. The 4th round. The 4th round was when it turned around for me. I say Murata looked like he had 2 strong rounds. That was rounds 2 and 3. But I felt the tide shift in the 4th. And from the 4th onward, all the rounds I scored were for Triple G. The judges' scorecard is out. 2 of the judges' scorecards look just like mine. So that's that. For me, the tide turned in round 4. And he took control from round 4 to the stoppage.
I think that goes back to what you're talking about in blowing his gas tank. Like, Murata shot his wad in the first 3 rounds, didn't he?
Basically. Normally he's not a busy puncher. Like if you watch his fights 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 on repeat, In this fight, he tried to take it up a notch, tried to apply more pressure, but that caused him to blow his load faster. So by round 4, you can't turn it around anymore. Now, I think he did it to himself by being inactive for the last 2 years.
But
Because had he been, go ahead.
At the same time, Julius, it made for an entertaining fight because Murata was prepared to take risks.
Oh yeah, I mean, of course.
So whilst I think your analysis is correct, I wish more fighters would actually take that risk, because what if it had worked?
Napoli says, much respect and appreciation to Jules and everybody on the panel, the realest channel on YouTube. Appreciate that. Yeah, man, like you'll see the difference between amateur boxing and pro boxing soon enough. I hope Andy has a lot of success because he's a fun fighter to watch as an amateur. But if he gets knocked out, don't think I'm not going to laugh. I am.
I think we're going to see it in the summer as well when Savannah takes out Clarissa. I think that's going to
happen. We'll see. We'll see.
I know your thoughts on it. I know you think, but like if you look at the length and the slipperiness and the switch hitting of Savannah's got skills that people are overlooking.
Of course, bro. You got to be skilled to be a switch hitter. You know, like I said,
you guys think this?
What are you preaching? What did
like
you feature at the site of Clarissa Shield being knocked the fuck out? You say it yourself.
No, this is the main thing. The key to knocking out Clarissa, it's going to boil down to volume. Savannah has to throw and take risks. That's where the question mark is. It's not, does Savannah have enough power to knock out Clarissa? Yeah, she has it. Yeah, you have to land though. And in order to land, you have to throw.
But my argument as well with Savannah is she's actually very good at setting up her punches.
Whoever this is has a lot of time to make different accounts. He's using racial slurs.
Oh, I can't see the chat. But going back to Savannah, she's very good at setting up her punches as well. And Peter is a very, very clever tactician. Like, you've got to give Peter a lot of the credit for Tyson beating Vlad and coming up with a game plan for that.
I agree.
And Savannah went to Peter with power, so Peter can just impart skill upon skill on her because he doesn't have to worry about that aspect of her game.
Well, I don't like, the main thing is you have to have the courage to punch with Clarissa and realize she can't knock you out, dog. She don't be knocking people out. So don't punch in sequence the way other girls did. Punch with her, because so long as you punch with her and so long as you're punching, the probability of you landing is that much higher. And so long as you can land, that's when you can hurt her.
Well, that's my point. Peter's going to know that because Peter's going to be watching and he'll be telling her and they will be training for that. Because Peter clearly analyzes boxers. He knew that Vlad was reluctant to throw. And so they came up with a plan that worked.
How confident on a scale of 1% to 100%, how confident are you that she's going to knock her out?
I'm about 80.
That's a lot. That's
I'm very confident. And a large part of my confidence actually is in Peter, because my big criticism of Peter's fighters that he normally trains is they don't have power.
Yeah, like Hewitt.
But if you look at her switch hitting, her movement, her awkwardness, the way she changes levels, the way she's able to actually create quite a lot of volume with that. I don't really like her jab. I don't like Savannah's jab. But she uses it as a tool to open her up, and then she switches as well. I think that's going to give. And I think she's felt Clarissa punch before. I don't think she's afraid to take punches off Clarissa.
I mean, we're at a point to where we've seen Clarissa unload on girls not named Savannah Marshall, to where she's landing at will, and they don't go down. Not most of the time, they don't.
Her last fight, she was trying for a knockout. She was throwing,
and she was landing. My point is, she's actually landing and not getting the girls out. So if you're landing and you can't get them out, that kind of tells the story that no, you don't have punch because you are connecting. It's just,
and we've seen Savannah get hit and not get flustered. Like she got hit by Femke and she didn't get flustered by it at all. Okay, the speed is going to be different, and there's no way that's Clarissa's ace is speed and volume. But if she stays calm and throws with her, Clarissa's in a world of trouble.
I mean, I can see how it happens. It's just contingent upon whether or not Savannah does what I think she needs to do. And all you got to do is throw. Fuck it. You're going to get hit a little bit, but throw. Don't let the speed bother you. Don't let her get your respect early, because if you stop throwing, this fight's out the window. Your best bet is to punch with Clarissa. That's how Hannah knocked her down, and that's how you can knock her out. But if you let the counters bother you, if you get gun shy, fight's over.
No, I agree with that part.
She will. That's the point. Clarissa will get. I mean, she will get clipped. I mean, she can't go full 10 without getting caught with something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. It's inevitable. It's gonna happen. Savannah will catch her with something.
I would say fight her out of the southpaw stance. You start off southpaw, jab to the body. You know, her head's gonna be hard to hit. That's the main thing. Like she shouldn't be
going body and head against Femke,
which is why it's encouraging.
Peter's gonna tell her to go body. Come on, Peter knows those tactics. Peter's gonna spend a lot of time watching Clarissa, because Peter clearly respects Clarissa. He's not taking it lightly or anything.
He's no dummy. I mean, she's no pushover. I would say I'm 60 to 65% confident she knocks her out. 60 to 65. I'm not up there with you. I ain't 80, but I'm like, I see how.
I'm biased. I mean, you know,
I see how it could happen. I definitely see how it could happen. But if it happens, what does Clarissa do?
Oh,
no. I mean, if it happens,
is there a rematch? Oh, we don't know the contract yet, do we?
There is no contract yet. The fight's not done.
Yeah.
In theory, it should be easy to do because they're on the same side of the street. They're under the same banner.
Let's be honest. Sky have only signed her for this fight. That's why Sky have signed Clarissa.
Pretty much.
Because you think there'd be any A-side, B-side nonsense? Or
there already is.
No, there is. Like, you think they'll just like squash that and be like, okay, 50-50 or whatever, do it better.
Well, it's not. Well, the money wasn't what she brought up. What she brought up was where the fight happens. Though I don't think.
Right, yeah.
I don't think it was their intention to do the fight right there where Savannah's from. No, they probably, maybe they do the O2. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think they do Wembley. Wembley's too big for that fight.
No. That fight's not on the scale of a Wembley. I mean,
it's too big for that fight.
In all honesty, and this is the truth, and I don't know how many people here who aren't from the UK are going to know this. The Newcastle fans will travel anyway. So if it's in London, it's going to be a pro Marshall crowd wherever they go. The Newcastle fans will travel.
And it's already implied, though. The fight's in the UK. If you really were the A side, the fight would be in America.
But what my point is, moving it to London isn't going to make it any less hostile for Clarissa. The same people will be there. It's just how far they have to travel to go.
What I don't understand about the whole situation is, how is it wrong to say that Clarissa's marquee value in America, well, it's not enough to where Savannah has to travel to her? It's the truth. And the people that get upset whenever this is iterated are the same people that didn't buy her fight. I bought her fight when she was on pay-per-view. If I ask these individuals to produce a receipt the same way I can they produce one? No. So what are you arguing about?
Well, they need to go and watch your back catalogue, because for a long time you were a supporter of Clarissa.
That's actually true.
No, I know, because I listened to the relay to back it up. I actually listened to it, and for a long time you supported her. I tried to kind of follow her, but I couldn't do it because of the style.
It's an amateur style, bro. It's an amateur style.
That's why I brought it up, because we were on the Cuban topic.
Yeah.
It doesn't translate to the pros because it's not entertaining. That's the problem with that style. I
honestly think maybe, and not exclusive to knockouts, because the personality has its role to play, but it would have helped if, you're over here, you're an Olympic double gold medalist, and you're stopping broads, and you're doing it in violent fashion.
If she had that personality with the knockout power to back it up, it would be a whole different dynamic, because you could buy into her being the baddest woman on the planet. But when you're giving all the mouth, and we know that you couldn't crack an egg.
That's not right, bro. Why you gotta do that? Why you gotta do that? I don't want to get in trouble, man. But I didn't say that.
I said it. I said it, and the facts are, like, you can't run your mouth like that when you cannot crack an egg. People aren't scared. No one's scared of her.
She gave Savannah's performance, what she said, deep.
She said it was boring and nobody would want to watch that fight.
Are you guys talking about that MMA fighter that lost in her second fight?
Oh, come on. Why y'all doing this? Y'all gonna get me in some shit. Y'all gonna get me in some shit. They gonna get mad at me.
People are going to be thinking that Savannah's like my favorite female fighter, and she's not. Alicia's my favorite female fighter by far.
At least she's
Let
dope.
me tell y'all something.
We will pay per view to see Alicia fight.
I never thought I'd say this, but I think I might be looking forward to Marshall and Savannah more than Bumgarner and Mayer. I never thought I'd say that. I don't
Anecdotally, I am, because I don't like you. Y'all know how I feel about Serrano. You know, I don't. She's not a bad fighter, but I'm settled on that. Like, yeah, I think Katie's gonna win a decision. When it comes to Marshall and Shields, it seems a little closer. It does, but at the same time, yeah, I do see Savannah knocking her out. Right? I'm sorry if that bothers anybody, but yeah, I do see. Yeah, I definitely see how it could happen. And it's intriguing, you know. I don't have nothing against Clarissa, but I'm saying, does picking against her in that situation, you have to have something against her? Savannah's a good fighter. You need to acknowledge that, and she needs to acknowledge that, or she's going to get knocked out.
That denial is going to get her knocked out, Julius, because if she means what she said, I want you to land your best shots on me. If she actually means that,
what you asked for,
living in a universe where Savannah is unbeatable. I mean, sorry, Clarissa's unbeatable. She's living in a universe where she can't be beaten, and that is not a good place for a fighter going into a fight of this magnitude.
It's not if she doesn't acknowledge the threat level. And also, I don't think much of John David Jackson. That's who's been training Clarissa. I don't really think much of John David Jackson as a trainer. I honestly believe that under him, she's not looked even. She doesn't look as good now as she used to. You know, when she first debuted as a pro, because she wasn't always with JDJ. And yeah, man, she can get knocked out. She better get real. Like, yo, you better respect her and respect her power, or you gonna get disrespected. Is what's gonna happen. No other way to put it. Like, I don't know if she actually believes. Like, how could you believe that she can't punch?
I hope she doesn't. But she
could.
She's so deluded in all. She's so deluded in all other aspects. She's so entitled. Like, she thinks that she's entitled to the same purses as Canelo. Like, she's actually deluded to that level that I can't rule that possibility out.
Now, let me say this, right? Because this is the weird part. In order for you to get paid the way you get paid, they have to be able to sell tickets. Now, it's clear you don't sell tickets here. You're making it seem like, oh, you're sacrificing or acquiesce. No, you're not. All right. You're not. You know why? You've been harping about what you get paid. Well, Savannah sells more tickets in the UK than you do in the US. Ain't that the truth? Am I lying? Look at any one of the fights that she's had under Sky where she headlined. She was the headliner. And look at how many people are there.
She sold it out.
So if you want to get paid, right? You're talking about 6 figures, 7 figures. You want to get paid.
Julius, the casual boxing fans in my office were talking about the knockout afterwards.
It's like it's a trade-off. Like if I say this, people are gonna interpret it as, oh, you just hating or you throwing shit. No, I'm not throwing shade. Savannah has more marquee value in the UK than Clarissa has anywhere. So the only reason it's even possible for you to get paid the way you're getting paid is because Sky is behind her. That's it. If it wasn't for that,
it's really simple. It's really simple. Clarissa Shields acts like it's being robbed for a promotional company or for a network.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's being overpaid.
Yeah. Being honest, this is the reason you about to get your biggest purse. Because if not for this, you would have got dropped from Showtime.
You know one thing I would say.
Go ahead, South London.
I agree with South London.
Yeah, for me, I think feminism has skewed the way people perceive they need to be paid. Like, people want to sit at home, want to do half the work, or just want to be given something just because they're a woman. Anthony Joshua, he sells the tickets he sells. Thus far, his market value is so high. Canelo sells out stadiums, record attendance in America. He gets the money he gets because his marquee value is so high. Clarissa Shields, she doesn't really sell tickets.
Well,
so
because
how is she going to be that person?
I've often talked about this, just marquee value. And bear in mind, I try to help promote the sport as best as I can so that they can make the money that they want to make. But this idea of equal pay, that's not reality because all men don't get paid the same. So why would all the women get paid the same way all the men do? It doesn't work like that. You sell, and this is why I'm such a big fan of Ebony Bridges. She gets it. I have to have marquee value to get paid the way I want to get paid. So between fights, I'm all over social media. I'm doing interviews. My presence is felt. I'm doing what I can on my end to endear myself to the paying public. But Clarissa, well, you offend people. You get into arguments with people all day on social media. It's like, who, you know, the people that are intended to be her supporters on social media, how many of them bought her fight? Because if I go on Twitter, oh yeah, I'll bump into a guy who claims to be a fan of her. Did you buy her fight? If she fights Savannah in the UK, are you going? And we know the answer, but we gotta keep playing. We gotta keep playing dumb. We gotta keep playing dumb to be fake polite. No, I'm not gonna be fake polite. You're not going to fucking. You're not gonna go to the O2 Arena or wherever the fuck is gonna land at. You're not, and you're not gonna buy the pay-per-view. I got the receipt for the pay-per-views I buy. I got mine. So what you think about it don't matter unless you're going to buy it. Now, if you're going to buy it, then it matters. Now, when she fights Savannah, of course I'm going to buy it. I've bought Clarissa's fights before. I'll buy this one, but not just for Clarissa, also for my homegirl Savannah. She's a shit. And it's very simple. Your marquee value is determined by you. It's not determined by equal this. No. It doesn't work like that.
Julius, you've got the equal opportunity to go out and sell yourself.
Exactly.
And Sky are actually giving you that. So now it's your job to go and entertain people.
Pretty much. I mean,
like,
I don't know what she's expecting.
Look, you have guys like Gervonta Davis and Jermar Charlo. They don't have big fan bases, but at least they have 50K fans that they're going to buy pay-per-views for them. Whoever they fight, they're gonna buy them. Clarissa Shields doesn't even have that.
She doesn't, and I'm not knocking her for it. But if I say that, it's taken as if I'm taking a shot. No, it's the truth. You don't have that kind of marquee value. That's why you're fighting in the UK. The only way you can make the kind of money you want to make after Showtime dropped you or after you left them, whichever one came first. But the only way it happens now is for you to go to the UK. You don't really have a choice. It would have been either that or she goes all into mixed martial arts, I guess.
Why is it so hard as well? Because I'm looking forward to watching Alicia fight again. It's like...
Well, you'll like who she's fighting. She's fighting a pressure fighter from Argentina, so...
It's going to be fun. We're going to get to see Alicia fight again. It's great.
Jules, do you know the date she's fighting?
Yeah, it's soon. I believe it's in God, she told me. Fuck,
you can't
announce
though.
But it's Edith. It's well, I asked, and it's Edith. Unofficially, it's Edith Matisse. She's a journeywoman, pressure fighter, tough as shit. She's Lucas's sister. And she's fighting Edith Matisse. And it's just like John said, it's gonna be fun. Because at minimum, what people need to remember is it's entertainment. You know, you got to put on a show. It needs to be entertaining. Alicia is entertaining. She's not just going to sit there jabbing. Nah, she's going to try to take the chick head off, which is what people come to see. That's what they come for, the brutality.
She earned a I don't want to call it a soft touch, but a stay busy fight because she's going to fight another time this year, and she just had a fight.
Well, another thing about that is, and what's not being said is, okay, I know that Alicia wants to unify, but does Hyun Mi Choi? Because that's the question that's not being asked. Does Hyun Mi Choi want to unify? Because what I see is a lot of people, they're acting like it's only one team it takes to make a fight. No, it takes two teams to make a fight. And I don't know that Choi is as enthusiastic about unifying with Alicia as she might have been to unify with Terry. I think there's a question there, just a genuine question. I'm not saying she's not enthusiastic, but I do wonder about that because she posting pictures on Instagram and she going to different places, but I don't see Hugh Me Choi talking about the fight. I don't see her talking about it.
And this goes back to what we talked about promotion. Eddie's getting her out. Eddie's getting her out again.
Yep.
So we get to see her again. We're not going to forget about that knockout where she put someone out on their feet. She's going to be back out again.
Like everybody's acting like it's just on Alicia to unify with Choi when Choi has to want to. And look, I understand that Michaela, she want to unify. I get it, right? But Michaela, they already sent you a champion. Are you down across the street now? Because they sent you a champion. They sent you Maiva. They didn't have to do that. They could have fucked it up for you, but they sent her to you, right? All right, so now are you down across the street or are you expecting Alicia to go to you the same way Maiva went to you? Because that's the other side of that argument. To me, it's only right that Michaela may across the street. It's only right because they didn't make
over under 6 cup of coffee for school today, fellas.
No, I only had 2. I only had 2.
Go for it. Hey, Jules, I'm about to take off real quick. When are you going live again? What for? What fight?
Later on today for the Ryan Garcia top rank and Lubin shit.
Okay.
What about Mayer and Han? You gonna just
probably like around 6 or 7, huh? Your time, my time.
Well, I think Mayer and Han. I don't. Where's Lubin versus Fundora happening? Where is that?
Let me find out. Hold on.
If it's just
yeah.
Julius, one last question.
Mm-hmm.
So, Michaela Mayer renewed the contract with Top Rank, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who is she gonna fight there?
This is what the play is. It's not a bad play, if I'm being honest. I believe that what her people think, Georgia Ruiz and all those people, they figure that if Katie wins, she's not staying at lightweight. If she loses, Amanda's not a matchroom fighter. We give Amanda a contract. We give her a career high purse and bring her to top rank in ESPN. The play, I believe that the play now is shifting the focus from undisputed at 130 to undisputed at 135. That's what I think the play is. It's not a bad play. It's not a bad play.
Do you think Katie Taylor is going to move up?
Yes. If she beats Amanda, she'll move up. There's no reason to stay at 130 anymore, at the 135 anymore.
Katie will move up for 147, won't she?
Well, she has options. She could fight Chantel at 40. She could fight Jessica for a second time at 47 or a catchweight. She has options if she wins.
I think she'll fight Jessica, to be honest, because it's an undisputed fight.
Yeah.
And she can probably hold the titles for that one fight.
Yeah.
But Laura Lubin is in Vegas.
All right. But yeah, like if Katie wins, she's not staying at 35. That's the main thing. And Michaela sees that Terry Harper, she just moved up to 35. I feel like Michaela was more comfortable when her rival was Terry because now she seemed pressed that it's Alicia. She seems a little bit more pressed, like they're arguing more. Like it was cute and sort of more civil between Michaela and Terry. Now it's bitch this, dog walk this, bitch that. I'm a fuck. Like it's different now. Like
she was very calm with Terry Harpier.
She was a little bit more calm. It was a little bit more civil between Michaela and Terry than it is between Alicia and Michaela. Like they calling each other all type of dumb bitches.
If it happens, how do you see it going?
Honestly, I'm gonna say that I like Alicia for the fight, not just because I like Alicia more. Alicia's more sudden. If just watch them, Alicia's power is more sudden, it's sharper, it's faster, and
that power is a real deal.
It's good.
Her power's
no joke. Her power's no joke. She could punch.
And listen, she trained with Detroit fighters, man. Detroit from the D. You know what I'm saying?
And the other thing, Julius, Persoon is still in lightweight.
No, she moved down to super featherweight. So yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now all that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Like
makes sense. Okay.
This is what I mean, Leo, that I think, and Michaela said it. She said this is her last year. This is gonna be her last year at super featherweight. So when you think about it, let's just say Alicia fights Edith Matisse, she beats Edith, right? Bang. And then the unification match with Choi, let's say September or sometime closer to the fall. Can we really trust, I should say, that they do Baumgartner versus Mayer this year? Nah. The Mayer people gonna make it hard. They're gonna make it hard.
Next year, they probably do it.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you, it might not happen.
No, don't say that.
No, I'm being real with you. No, I'm being real with you. It might not happen. Because is Michaela gonna cross the street? Look at how they scored Mayer versus Hamadouche. That's fucking nuts, bro.
The judge didn't even give her a round.
Bro, who the fuck gonna go over there?
Yeah, that's the. I mean, if Alicia went over there, she's got to knock Michaela out. She's got to.
And they not dumb. Like, they know that. Like, hold the fuck up. Like, look, the right woman won the fight. No harm. The right woman won the fight. But look at how y'all scored it. That's saying that Maiva never had a chance unless she fucking hit Michaela with a goddamn chair. Unless she knock her smooth out.
The thing is, though, Alicia can hit her with that chair, though. So do you think she can go over?
But
do you think she'd go to top rank before that? No,
Alicia's not stupid. Alicia's not stupid, and her team not stupid. And more importantly, the play is a similar. I'm not gonna lie that it's a similar play to what Errol was trying to do at welterweight. The difference is that, look, your big fish. I just took out your big fish. You can't. Don't act higher than me. This was your super fight. I just took her out, and now I'm very close to unifying with her. How the fuck are you the A side to me? Nah, you come to me because they already sent you a champion. They sent you Maiva. What, I'm supposed to go over there too?
The other problem is that Eddie and Bob are not playing nicely together anymore, right?
No, they're not. No, they're not.
They're not. I'll say this. Them not playing nice is better because now Bob got off his ass and he's promoting and making fights this year because Eddie outworked him last year. And
I agree with that.
The top ranked card on the top ranked schedule is pretty damn good right now.
Like to if you look at the situation for what it is, right? Because a lot of people don't want to look at it down the middle. What was Michaela's biggest fight that was out there for her? It was Terry. That was the fight they was trying to build. Alicia stepped in, she killed that. So how the fuck, if I took out your big fish and I got a belt now, how the fuck are you the A side to me? Nah, I took out your big fish. I beat you to the punch. And now if I fight Choi, I'm gonna have the same amount of belts that you got. How the fuck you the A side to me? Nah, you wildin'. We going
you Jules, because like let's just say like we pay attention to what happens in her next fight. Like let's say like today I got Michaela on points. Let's say she wins, she beats Han on points, gives a very boring points performance. But then we see Alicia's next fight. She starches Edith, then she goes in there and does the same thing to Choi. Well, that's more popularity in Alicia's favor already.
I'm telling you, like the sooner Eddie gets her out there, the better, because she can knock out Choi. Of that, I'm certain. Like, yeah, she cannot. Like, Choi is a fun fighter. Choi is not like a boring ass. I'ma just be on the outside. She gonna put herself in a position that Alicia gonna get to hit her with all of it, or all the shit. So she could probably knock her out too, just like she knocked out Terry. Now, if that happens, what's Alicia's marquee value? It's gonna be over Michaela's. Like, I like Michaela, don't get me wrong, but like, you've been with Top Rank for 5 years. Alicia been with Matchroom for 10 seconds, and she got a bigger buzz than you.
I mean, Alicia's got other things in her favor as well. She's like,
one at a time. Go ahead, John.
Not only is Alicia got all the power and she's fun, she's pretty too. And Eddie knows how to market that.
I try to be professional, John. I don't like to talk about the aesthetics.
I'm just saying the same thing that can be said for Anthony Joshua. He knows.
I don't say that about Anthony Joshua.
No, but he knows how to market Anthony Joshua to the ladies, and the ladies do find Anthony Joshua pretty. I will do that.
By the way, Jules, one question about Alicia.
No, it's right anyway.
Did she like my song?
Hold on. Go ahead, Jay. What'd you say?
Did she like my song? We all need an Alicia. Do we understand? Or...
I don't know if she heard it. But I'm saying, look, John's point is true. Aesthetic value has a role to play in marketing a fighter. Let's not be coy and childish. It does, but it's also entertainment value. That when Alicia gets in there now, what people are expecting is power, and that lends itself to watching her fight or going to her fight. Like, yeah, that stuff is important, yo, which is basically the theme of this live. They're like, yeah, dog, like motherfuckers don't always want to see a fight go the distance. They like fighters that go for it and go for the jugular.
Wants to see a fight.
Fight fans know
wants to see 12 rounds if they don't have to. I want to know who these people are. Like,
They on Twitter, bro.
Like 9, 11 rounds, but I want to see it finish.
They on Twitter, bro. Like sweet science.
I don't want to be sat here arguing about.
We know who Alicia. We know Alicia is going to be entertaining. The plus is for the casual fan, the casual male fan. Like, oh, she's fine. I'm gonna watch now.
But that's
same thing for AJ. You go to AJ's Instagram. You go to AJ's Instagram. It's nothing but hard eyes from the women. They love him.
He got all the thirst traps for the broads on fucking Instagram. He got thirst traps for the broads and knockouts for the fight.
And he's in Amir Khan's wife's close friends group. I heard.
Well, shit, yo, private chat, motherfucker.
That wasn't him. He went all shaggy on it. It wasn't me.
But that's the main thing, and I see that like it's good and it's bad because I'm not sure if the fight is going to happen. So what's bad about it is the politics may get in the way of the fight, but what's good about it, at least the silver lining, is now you have a Baumgartner faction and now you have a Mayer faction. The fake ass purists, right? The purists, they want to stick with Michaela. The because she beat Maiva, and she did beat Maiva legitimately, but the scorecard, you can't think that a scorecard like that is helping the situation. Nobody is going to want to cross over the top rank now to fight you because that scorecard is way off. I gave Maiva at least 4 rounds, 3 or 4. This fucking judge didn't have her winning nothing. That's not right, B.
Cool. And then that just be off.
That undermines any sort of route to A side as well.
Yeah, who gonna go over there?
Yeah,
because like, as long as Michaela is top ranked, like only female fighter, they're gonna do everything they possibly can to ensure she doesn't lose.
Well, I'm not. Look, another thing I'll say is they put her in there on the top rank end of it. If we just look at it from their end of things, it was still dope that she fought Maiva because Maiva has a high knockout percentage, and Maiva does stop a lot of girls. So I won't say that they're It's hard to say that they're protecting her when they were willing to put her in there with somebody dangerous, just on their side of things. What fucks it up is, y'all scored that fight crazy, and it wasn't even necessary. Now,
the scorecard, that's just what I was alluding to, because how the scores were. You know what I mean? Like,
like if you Alicia, what am I gonna go to top rank so y'all could jerk me? So y'all could jerk me on the cards the way y'all jerked her? Nah,
I've got a track record for this lately as well. If you look at Josh Taylor, there's a few situations where it's going to hurt them to attract the big fights because if you're not confident you can knock that opponent out, why are you going to go over to top rank?
It's not even just being confident. You could be confident that you could win a points decision. It's a stain.
No. I said confident you could knock out.
All right.
No, you can't rely on the judges because you know you're not getting a fair shake.
Basically, like you got to hit her with a goddamn chair in the first round. Hope for the best.
I mean, like for the Bebo fight, Canelo's already up 3 rounds.
Shit, he's up 4 on my card.
Yeah, but
Mr. Honda is Mr. Honda's really putting on 2 super fights in Japan this year already with this last fight and then Inoue and Donaire too.
Yeah, real shit.
But Bivol's not worth any money anyway. He doesn't draw, so I don't think like. Yeah,
I'll ask her. She's cool. I'll ask her. Yeah, man. I mean, like, I see that basically there's a lot of people, the anti-Eddie people, because for some reason people don't like Eddie Hearn. Whatever, bro. All I'm saying is I see that the anti-Eddie Hearn people, now they want to side with Michaela, right? And they want to put pressure on Alicia. And I'm like, they not looking at the shit down the middle, that if you look at it down the middle, the whale fight that Michaela was waiting for was the Harper fight. Okay, Alicia just beat Terry though. So she killed that. Why would she bend over? Why would she now bend over for you? Especially given how the Hamadouche fight was scored. Nobody in their right mind would do that. Like, no, I'm gonna go to your side of things so I can get jerked. Fuck out of here.
She needs to go and collect that other belt via knockout, and then she's holding all the cards, isn't she?
I mean, to me, she is with two belts. With two belts, that evens the playing field.
With like another highlight reel. Julie.
Let's not pretend that Terry Harper didn't have more marquee value than Michaela. She did and still does. If we talk about who was the A side before, who was the A side? Michaela or Terry? Terry, by far and wide, easily. Terry has more fans in the UK than Michaela has in the US. Easily. Now, I'm not going to say that Alicia stole all of Terry's fans. No. But Alicia has the buzz now, right? She been with Matchroom for 10 minutes. Before that fight, they didn't know her. She been with Matchroom for 10 minutes, and she has more of a buzz than you do, having been with Top Rank since July of 2017. Yeah, right here in terms of buzz. It's not hard to see. If she go in there, she knock out Choi, it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be like that. So are you sure that Michaela is the A side to Alicia? Because it doesn't look that way to me, but that's just me. I don't know about y'all.
And why fans want to spend ages talking about the A side anyway? Because that's basically getting into an argument as to why the fight isn't going to happen.
Pretty much.
Like, if we have to talk about who the A side is, we're basically conceding this fight's not happening.
I think so. That's how I look at it. And that's why I see that, you know what the play might be? The play might be to shift the focus to the lightweight division, because they're not going to send you Alicia, yo. We sent you a champion already. When are you going to cross the street for a fight?
Did we just say this? Like, Eddie just tweeted out the official April 16th for Alicia.
All right, let's see. Let's see the homie.
Yes,
but shit, there it is. Oh, damn, 15 minutes ago. Oh, yep, it's up.
Let's go, baby.
Yo, is Eddie watching? Is Eddie watching the relay?
No, Eddie watching the relay. Stop.
We just talking about this shit. He put it up.
You know, I DM'd Eddie yesterday. Like, Eddie, can you hurry up and fucking announce the Usyk AJ? I got a plane ticket to buy.
Look at that lady. I'm so proud of her. I'm proud of her, man. Oh, fuck, yo. There it is. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
She got a knockout, y'all. I'm just saying now. So,
you know what I'm saying? I'm proud of her, man. But yeah, yo, like all this shit that Alicia gotta bow down to Michaela, that's a narrative. That is not exactly true. If your big fight that you were building towards was Terry and Alicia just took her out, nah, she don't gotta bow down to you. She beat you to the punch. Why would she have to bow down to you? Don't make sense. Fuck out of here.
Let me ask you this. I know, like, as I remember, like, at one point in time, Eddie, when they were trying to make the Tevin Farmer and Tank fight, he was telling Leonard, he said, okay, let's put up a blind bid, and whoever bids the most does the fight. Now,
I remember that.
You said he did this with Alicia and Mayer. Who wins that bid?
Well, I mean, look, we can't underestimate Bob, right? We can't, like, really. I think that time has shown us that even at 90 years old, he is not to be trifled with. Bob, you know, he has deep pockets too. He just has more know-how and how to work a situation and more sight, I should say, which only comes with experience. I don't know that they wouldn't go balls to the wall for the fight, you know, Top Rank, just on some ego shit. Like, man, we just want to stick it to Eddie. Fuck it, let's make it a 7-figure fight. I don't know. I can't count Bob out, essentially. I can't count him out.
Well, we've just seen him do it, haven't we?
Yeah,
I think Eddie, okay, is heavyweights. We can't talk about the same type of money, but Eddie wasn't going to back Dillian like that to outbid him for Tyson Fury anyway, because you've got Bob's prize stallion in the heavyweight division and Eddie's second string. I mean, let's just be honest about it. Dillian is Eddie's second string. And also, Dillian's not committed like that to Eddie either.
Yeah, no multi-fight deal. They're on a fight-by-fight basis.
Exactly. Whereas Alicia, Eddie might actually say, yeah, I'm going to go for this.
Well, I think Eddie sees what I see, right? Eddie sees what I think he does. That, bro, with Alicia, it's not even about Michaela, bro. It's not like this chick. It's not like she could carry the flag for all the girls here. States she could like legit. She could change it.
No, she.
I'm gonna tell you, Eddie sees. Eddie sees what White saw in Ronda Rousey.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's a difference because Alicia's actually good.
No, that goes without saying.
That's not right. Fucking Ronda knew judo. She knew that shit.
Yeah.
She knew her judo shit. She just
Ronda
didn't
knew
have
how
no
to.
stand-up.
Ronda was a one-trick pony, but she wasn't. But she got in there, so I give her respect.
But Alicia's not a one-trick pony, Julius. Come on, let's
no. I mean,
Alicia's
in
a
terms,
good boxer.
Ronda tried to box Holly Holm in that fight, and that's what she.
Dana saw an energy and a potential star that can captivate the woman audience and the men.
Yeah.
So put the money behind. Ed used the same thing with Alicia. Guys in boxing will support her. If she just keeps knocking bitches out, it's gonna catch like wildfire.
yeah, like see, she's got something for everybody. She's got something for the hardcore boxing fan that wants to see somebody get knocked the fuck out. She's got something for the the casual fan that, oh, that girl's pretty, and they're gonna gravitate towards that. And she's still gonna appeal to a female audience because she's a woman herself. So there's something there for everybody.
And she's got some class as well, Julius. She's not out here upsetting people, being horrible. You know,
very smart.
I don't think women really gravitate towards Clarissa for that reason, that she's out there bitching all the time.
Well, it's almost, I see some people that claim to be Shields fans, right? And I'm just being honest. It almost seems like charity. Like you're only doing it because you see how many people dislike her. So you just want to go against the grain. Even though there is a reason that people dislike her, though. It's a real reason for you to dislike someone. They're like, hey, yo, you talk wild shit, but you don't be knocking nobody out. Ooh.
The eggs have managed to maintain their shell, dude.
Alicia too, she'll talk shit.
But she'll knock you out.
She'll knock you out. She'll talk shit too, though. She ain't no punk. Like,
yeah, but she's
you know what it is too, though.
She's not
listen, when Alicia's on camera, Alicia still comes off as approachable.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a bad attitude on camera, and Shields does.
Exactly. Like Shields portrays someone who has no class. Alicia, okay, she needs to talk. She can talk, but generally speaking, she's got class. She's not.
But let me say this to John's point. She, in the most classy way possible, she predicted what would happen. In the most, she said, hey, I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna knock out. She didn't say a whole fuck ton of shit. I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna knock out. That's it. Watch the shit back. It's fucking, you get fucking goosebumps watching the shit because she motherfucking knew she was gonna knock out.
Just cold.
It's cold. And it was in a way where you could get behind it. You know, it wasn't like she was attacking like, oh, fuck Terry Harper, bum ass. Nah, it wasn't nothing like that. It was like, nah, I'm gonna go in there and knock out.
But that's smart as well, because if you undermine your opponent, you're undermining your own achievement.
Basically, how you gonna spend all this time? Like, look at what Clarissa did with Christina Hammer. You spent all that time saying that she ain't shit. So when you beat her, well, she ain't shit. You said that, not me. You said that.
Well, how's Tyson Fury gonna actually like do much off beating Dillian? And then if Dillian knocks him out, where's he going?
He lost to a bum.
Exactly. If Dillian cleans his cock, if he finds that left hook that landed on Derek, what's he gonna do?
I mean, y'all know what's funny about the differences in attitude between Alicia and Clarissa. Like, honestly, if I ever saw both of them in person, I'd actually ask Alicia for a photograph, but I'd be nervous to ask Clarissa out of fear, for getting mad.
Oh yeah, man. Like,
who's that other girl you're talking about?
No, I said I asked. Oh yeah. Yeah,
I mean that goes without. Like, look. The whole thing is it's being treated like it's being treated almost as if it's wrong to give Savannah a chance to knock her out. It's being treated as if it's wrong to say that, no, Clarissa's not a big puncher. It's a guilt trip. It's like a massive guilt trip. But everything that's being said is true. Savannah has a high knockout percentage. Is there something wrong with me saying that? Like, no, I think she can knock her out.
Well, it's not just a high knockout percentage. Your last two opponents, didn't they go the distance with Clarissa?
Yeah, both of them.
And then Clarissa's last opponent, she even admitted she tried for the knockout and she couldn't get it. I thought the referee would have stepped in and stopped it. She actually said, I thought the referee would have stepped in and stopped it because she was taking too much punishment. But Clarissa, you couldn't close your show.
Yeah.
You couldn't do it.
I mean, and if it's like people get offended when you say, "Yo, she can't crack," but I'm like, am I lying? I'm lying.
I mean, but what's hilarious to me, like,
all those eggs get brave when they see Clarissa. The eggs
yo, fellas, I just wish somebody interviewing Clarissa would be like, I mean, no disrespect, but I think that Savannah's gonna knock you out, dude. She would turn so quick and get.
Bro, like she get. I mean, like, well, one, I would not do that because that's disrespectful. So I would not do.
It'd be funny though, but I'd be
funny, yeah. But like, I'm not going to sit across from somebody and be like, "Yo, I think Savannah gonna knock your fucking block off." That's wrong. Like, nah, you don't do that. But in a conversation, that okay, this is a boxing match. There are bets and bookkeepers, and people are gonna pick who they think is gonna win the fight. In that general conversation, it's treated in some circles amongst boxing fans as if it's disrespectful. I seen somebody say like, "Oh, people disrespect." How are they disrespecting Clarissa by saying they think Savannah can knock her out?
Hold on a minute.
It's a disrespectful part.
We're talking about disrespect, right? Clarissa said that Savannah doesn't really punch.
Yeah.
That Clarissa isn't any good. She said Hammer isn't any good. So when you have to give respect to get respect?
Yeah.
When have we seen Clarissa show anybody any respect? And yet she's the most entitled boxer that I've ever come across in my life.
Yeah, we all got.
Tank's pretty entitled, right? Tank's pretty entitled, but Clarissa is like a new level of entitlement that I've not witnessed in my life. Like,
honest to God, honestly, because I'm like, yo, you don't command an audience like that. On one end, you say that you want to make 7 figures, and believe it or not, I would like for the money to be there for you, even if it resulted in an army of obnoxious fucking fans. I would still want the money to be there for you, because then that would mean that the sport is flourishing to where a fighter can get $1 million or $2 or $3 million. That's a good thing for the sport overall. The truth is no, it's not there for you. You're only getting what you're getting because Sky is behind Savannah. That's it. That's the only reason you're getting what you're getting. If not for Sky and Savannah, the only way you get 7 figures is in mixed martial arts, and we saw how your last fight went. So,
I mean, every time when she's not, like every time they show her on screen, like on a Sky broadcast, she's booed by the crowd, like every single time.
And if I say that like if she was over there and she got booed, motherfuckers gonna act like I said something bad. Like I ain't saying nothing bad. I'm saying she was there and she got booed.
Watch the broadcast. Watch the.
They're the same people that will get upset if you said she can't punch, and we actually saw her expect the referee to do her job for her by stopping a fight where she couldn't finish her opponent.
Bro, I think she's gonna get stopped though. I do. The more I think about it,
slowly winning you over to the foot. It's the level
because it's the ego. It's the ego that's gonna get her stopped.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. If you genuinely live in this deluded world where you're so far above all your opponents, if that's real, she's in a world of trouble.
Yeah.
Reality is going to set in when she gets in the ring with Savannah, that's for sure.
When she blocks a punch and her arm hurt from the punch landing on her.
What if Savannah starts landing jabs to the chest and it's hurting her?
Bro. Like a lot of those girls, like, and what really makes me angry, and I have to control myself whenever it happens, they try to argue with me like, bro, you ain't been watching her or the people she fights the way you're talking. Like there was one guy on Twitter, he said Clarissa gonna knock her out. I'm like, yo, dog, if she couldn't knock out Hermans, and she couldn't knock out DK, and she couldn't knock out Rankin, or Habazin, or Gabriel's, who's been smooth knocked out by a junior middleweight, if she could knock out none of these people, how the fuck is she gonna knock out Savannah? It just, I'm like,
Clarissa's been talking about knocking her out as well. Clarissa's been talking about it.
Go for it.
Like, why do you live on this planet?
I hope she tries. Really, I hope she tries to go for the knockout and see what happens.
If she actually is living in the emotions that she's portraying, she might do. Because
I'd not triple dare her to go for the knockout. It works. I'd not quadruple dare her. Go for it.
Please try.
Please try.
Fucking go for it, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I'm like, yo, if you don't sit there saying you gonna knock her out to stay behind your jab all fucking night. Cause that's what the fuck pisses people off. You gonna talk all this cash shit so you could be economic and on the back foot.
I've got a legitimate question. What's the reach differential with these two?
Savannah has more reach.
No, I know she's got more, but how much? Like, is it
I don't know specifics.
It's hard to get the stats
because Savannah's. I don't think Savannah's is listed.
No, it's not. I've been trying to find it out because it might be the case that Clarissa's got to go to Savannah just to score points.
Well, look, if she stays on the outside, she's a sitting duck.
Yeah, exactly.
She's a sitting duck.
She needs to be in the pocket, like throw it.
And if she tries to
got uppercuts and she's got hooks.
The universe just told me 4 rounds. I don't know what it means.
Really?
Yo,
really?
It just popped. All I'm saying is what popped in my head. That's all I'm saying.
We went after 85%. Julia said 60%. Now, like, the more you think about it, the more you realize.
Because I just don't see. This is the thing.
It's my whole point. It's like, it's not like Savannah hasn't got shot variety. It's not like she doesn't have power in the pocket. It's not like she's got to get full extension. Shields cannot smother her punches. And that means that Savannah can't knock her out.
I'll say this.
And watch Savannah's little half step backwards to give herself room.
It's even if Clarissa can close the gap, right? Let's just say she's quick enough to step in behind the jab, close the gap, and get close to Savannah. Savannah has a dog in her. If you punch, if you catch her, she gonna want that back. And she gonna try to get it back. At which point y'all gonna trade and you gonna get clipped. You gonna get clipped.
Before she got knocked out, she went for it, didn't she? And she caught Savannah. She caught her. She did actually land some good shots. And I didn't see Savannah take any backward steps. And does Clarissa hit so much harder than Femke?
No. Shit, Femke might. Let me stop, yo. Let me stop. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I gotta fucking eat lunch.
Thanks, Julius. It's been good catching up with you for a while.
I appreciate you guys. Thanks, Julius, for having me on, man.
All right, now y'all come back for the late night. We gonna do the live later on. All right.
Yeah, we partying later on. We'll be back.
All right.
Yes, sir.